Match between New Puldrix and Luthieus. Two players I don't really know much about. If anyone knows of them, I'll gladly get some info. But yeah, see how this goes. Should pause my music so I can enjoy the game. So we've got PD starting with greasing the palms to install something in front of it. Not something you want to usually see as PD, although a dangerous start for PD because Seb has so much ice destruction. Like, you could right now just put down a Devil Charm and put down something to get rid of that ice and get into that server. Oftentimes putting something out behind an early ice, especially when you're not protecting any of centrals, is I'm going to score out an agenda fast. I'm going to get on the board really fast. And that's really dangerous against Seb. Let's see, we have Crew. Crew really good here. Solidarity Badge. Manual Lattes to Manuel, and Pinhole Threading. All right, grabbing Solidarity Badge. Interesting choice above Crew. Solidarity Badge going to give you a lot of card draw over the course of the game. Definitely something that's looking for more of a long game here. Not a bad choice, although you do definitely need a way to start trashing things, and we'll see if we find one. There is the Friend of a Friend. Ooh, and Lago. Okay, so Seb is definitely saying, I'm not going to contest that. Go ahead. Put something out. There it is. Humanoid Resources. An amazing start for PD. Just so much time and energy. Just so much speed with that. Four credits, 3 cards, 2 installs, and an operation. However, that will give Lago a free draw. That will give Seb a free draw. So Seb currently has Puldrix. They have so much tempo here due to the 2 cards that are both going to be drawing them cards over the course of this game. And that will potentially help a lot, but it's going to be something they have to be careful of. All right, Privileged Access, going to let them get a... Could get the Crew and try and contest that server. Alternatively, just going to go get the Friend of a Friend. Getting the Crew. So it looks like we'll probably see them try and contest that server. Oh, wow. And installing another Crew from hand with the thing. So that's 2 Crews on the board. So any ice with less than 4 strength is going to be breakable. And that's not less than 4 strength. That's a... Oh, wow. That's an amazing ice here, especially against Seb, which doesn't usually run normal icebreakers. I mean, it can get Devil Charmed real easily, but that will keep the runner out. PD sees this and can now basically say, you have 1 card in hand. You have no way of contesting this until you get a Devil Charm or some way to reduce this strength. I can start scoring out of this server. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a score happen right now on this turn. Seamless launch. It's happening. If I'm in Luthieus's shoe here, ooh, let them dream. What are we gonna grab? I might honestly grab. So it's dangerous to grab an agenda here because you have so few cards in hand that the runner could just find them. But you could also grab it and just say, "Go for it. Try and run my servers. Try and attack me." Most likely, you're gonna put an agenda on the bottom of your deck. That's what most decks want to do. But you could just grab it and say, "You're not gonna get it from my hand." Yep. Okay. Putting the 5/3 in the bottom of the deck. That's the reasonable choice. That's the non-stupid choice that I would do because I'm. Love gambling. Let's see. Steelskin Scarring to draw 3 cards. Desperately looking for that Devil Charm or any tool that you can use here now that you know you're being kept out. Both of those crews feeling very bad right now because what are they doing for you at this point? There's no ice on the field. You can't use them. Once there is some ice on the field and you have some ways to reduce strength, it'll feel a lot better. But for now, they're just rough. Lots of card drive. And then there's the Buffer Drive. So Buffer Drive is a card that it exists for a few things. It can be used to like the first half of it. The first time each turn, 1 more cards or trash string or grip or stack. That sort of matters. It matters a little bit. It's not as important as the second part. Remove this hardware from the game. This card is used to get back the card you need. Oh, immediately using it to grab Tungsten Tailor. Interesting. That's an interesting choice because Taylor will only reduce the strength of this by 1 down to 5, and then even with both crews, that is not enough. Oh no, wait, Tungsten Tailor was trashed. My bad, my mistake. Putting Tungsten Tailor back on the bottom of the deck. Yeah. Lago trashed Tungsten to draw a card, and then Buffer Drive put Tungsten on the bottom of the deck. All right. Luthieus putting 3 cards in that server, so now New Puldrix can easily access that server if there is a Devil Charm in hand. But you need that Devil Charm, and you've been able to draw a lot of cards, and we don't have a solid option yet. Also, no way to trash cards, which is not going to help with Solidarity Badge. Also, not much money, and you do need 2 credits to trash something with Crew. So if there's a lot of things in here that could be very difficult to deal with, potentially, especially with 2 upgrades. We'll see what Upoldrix does in this scenario. But yeah, buffer drive for now, just shuffling things back in. Oh. Playing friend of a friend, just drawing up. Still no way to contest this server. Next turn can once again start doing things, but that's another humanoid. 10 credits gone through. The deck is down to 27 cards. That's so much of your deck you've gone through so fast. Just so much speed. I'm curious if this PD is on the the flood the market style with stuff like warm reception to res and derez things. But as of right now, it's looking like it's more of just a standard panic PD, which is always good. You can't complain about standard panic PD. Predictive planogram. There might even be a tag sub-theme. We did see with planogram and greasing the palm, although both of those are just good cards to have. Oof. Clicking for credits and then playing Audrey. That will let you start cycling things like Strike Front from your hand, though, which is nice. So the nice thing about Buffer Drive is it puts the card back on the bottom of your deck, and Audrey lets you just trash cards from your hand for free. It basically just lets you discard for free if you want to, and that does help a lot. The biggest issue with Audrey is that Audrey has no virus counters right now because no cards have been trashed. So Audrey can't be used to get into the server. Yet. Now there's 4 cards in that server. At least one of those. You know that at least one of those is a Skunkworks. Probably one of those might even be an Anoetic Void. Lots of money. Wheels. Interesting. Very good for getting a lot of clicks. Probably going to see a lot of shenanigans this turn, potentially. Luthien is still only at 2 points, and while this deck is very scary because it can get a lot of points very quickly. Alright, there we go. Okay, so now we can contest the Hagen. Hagen is down to 4 strength, so you could take a tag from both of your crews and get rid of the Hagen, and we're going to see it. Now, using the Hannah is really... Ooh, Braun. Using the Hannah is a really dangerous choice because you are probably going to take a tag if you can't get in. Let's see, Braun... Now, you do technically have the credits to just break it if you wanted to, but that would be very rough. I don't know if you want to use the Hannah here because, yeah, using 2 clicks... Oh, interesting. Gonna let that just use 2 clicks to fire things. So you do now know that you have to save at least 5 credits for what is probably a Skunkworks in that server. Let's see. So, still at 10 credits. No ice was installed. Very lucky on that behalf of New Poldrix. Might have been saying this is a very ice-low deck. Only 4 ice installed, and we've gone through so much of the deck and nothing in archives. We know that there's probably not much ice in this in general. All right, giving this -2 strength, taking a ton of tags, and blowing it up. Finally getting a counter on Solidarity Badge. And now we're going to see something get rezzed. Probably. Interesting. Trashing a card... Oh, yeah. Trashing a steel skin to draw up. Probably just in case there's something in there that's like, just in case it's a trap or something. All right, there's the Skunkworks. You got to pay 5 to get through that. And there's the Anoetic Void. That's the worst thing you wanted to see here. So that'll end the run and give you another tag. That's so rough because almost certainly Luthien will use the Anoetic Void here. We'll see. I'm not sure, but that would probably be what I would do in this scenario. And it means that you're going to get a 4th tag, which means Seb's ability is basically going to be turned off. Because Seb's ability only triggers when you gain it, when you gain a tag and you don't have one. No! Interesting. Okay, Luthien is going to... Right, pays the 5 and then gets Anoetic. That's really rough. Oh, I forgot that Anoetic worked like that. I thought that you had to trigger Anoetic before... Seamless. Guess not. All right. Seamless advance. Is it going to get another advance encounters? Is it a 4-2 or just a 3-2? Let's see. Trying to decide what to do here. Yeah, okay, the corp guys decide which order they was. Right. Advancing once, twice, and then planogramming. So you're not going to try and score this. So I guess... Oh, taking that back. You did just spend it for 3 credits, so that should be fine to, Oh, because the runner's tagged, so you can do both. Right, okay, yeah. Going to gain 3 credits and draw 3 cards. I assume because the Corp wanted to advance this out, potentially even play the cards, and then realized, oh wait, I don't have the money to do this. I literally can't get in. Now, technically, Seb does have some options here. The Corp only has 1 credit. It only has 3 credits, so you could potentially just run on HQ and R&D, and if you can get a trash, you can get in. Or you can just Devil Charm. That'll do it. Ooh, Devil Charm on this server, so now you can break this. You're gonna take another tag with Hannah here. Yep. Because almost certainly Anoetic Void or Skunkworks is gonna be used. We'll see. You can keep the Corp paying a lot of money here, but you can't pay the money either. Like, you have to spend 2 clicks to deal with Skunkworks, and then you're still going to have to deal with the Corp potentially just keeping you out again with Anoetic Void. And now there is the argument that, like, the Corp can't keep doing that forever, but, like, if that's a 5-3, the Corp can just credit advance next turn and just get the points. Now, it is a big setback, and there it is, yeah. Using Anoetic, you take another tag with Hannah. Rough. But you do get a Solidarity Badge for trashing the ice, which is nice. And the Corp is now on 1 credit and has put 4 cards in the bin. It's a rough place to be as the Corp, but it's a much rougher place to be as the runner because that server, you have no credits. Like, I hope they have some way to make a lot of credits very quickly, because if not, this is a very difficult spot. There we go, okay. Interesting, okay. Oh no, Architect Deployment Test. Interesting. Okay, so if there's a big ice here, you could really hurt the runner. Let's see what we get. Oh, and that's a big ice. So you spent so much time trashing that Brawn last turn, and then it just immediately comes back because the runner gets this, because the Corp gets to score this. One of the best possible things you could score out here, honestly. Now, the one upside you have here is that the runner, there is nothing protecting your HQ and R&D. So, uses it to get back a Seamless. That'll be good for scoring out the next thing. The runner has basically no options for... the Corp has no options to res anything on HQ or R&D, so if you have something that can potentially apply pressure to those servers, you very much have a chance now to do something with them. But you need to find a way to apply pressure to those servers, and you have 0 credits to start that process off. Hannah can potentially remove a tag, but once again, removing a tag doesn't really do anything for you, because Seb only triggers if you have 0 tags, and you have 4 right now. It's a rough place for both players, but I'd definitely rather be the Corp than the runner in this scenario. Finally getting rid of the Anoetic with the pinhole. Dangerous to do on your last click, just because I'm not sure how exactly you handle... Dangerous to do on your last click because what if the Corp just has another Anoetic? But Anoetic is 4 influence. We've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 influence total, so very easily could have more stuff. Putting out a Regolith. Just taking a bunch of money from it. Interesting not putting it in server 1. Could be that you're trying to save server 1 for something, but also could just be... It does mean that the runner can just run that server, trash it, and get a Solidarity Badge trigger and another Audrey trigger, which it looks like we're going to see happen here. Yep, and there's Hannah. That's a lot of triggers that the runner can get. Now, it's still a bit rough because, like, the runner has no credits, clicking for a lot of credits, which you never want to see. Discarding another Lago. But you have given the runner a lot of Audrey time and a lot of Solidarity Badge, and a Solidarity Badge trigger. Alright. Putting Ash and Epilogue at the bottom of their stack. Don't know if we'll see it get used this game. Almost certainly we'll see it if the game goes long enough, but that assumes the Corp can't score out and win. We also have an upgrade in the server that has not been touched. We don't know what it is. See where this goes. Heck, that other upgrade could be... Can you put two uniques in the same server and just not res them? I actually don't know that rule. Huh. Well, interesting thing. All right, we're seeing... There's the... Oh, okay, here we go. So we have Amanusis, which is the Seb's console, and also the thing that is going to start giving you a reason to start removing all those tags again. You can start drawing cards with it. Humanoid resources again. We haven't seen any pressure on centrals, even with the Audrey with 2 counters and a Gourmand. No pressure on centrals yet. Might be just desperately watching for this server, but that's a scary thing to do against PD, especially because PD scores out a 3-2 or even a 2-1 if this sort of deck is running that, and you just immediately get that Anoetic back. Trashing Strike Front from the... Yay! Alright, so when something was installed in this server, the runner used Lago to trash a card and saw a Strike Fund. Put it on the bottom of the deck, but getting it. Uniques only count, you can have unresed ones chilling. Yeah, so there could be another Anoetic Void in that server right now, just waiting. Which would be backbreaking. Alright, spends 1 Host Pounder. So, using Solidarity Badge to remove a tag, and then spending a power counter from Amanusis to get rid of, to draw 2 cards. It's a lot of card draw, which is also going to power up Audrey a lot. Now, we still don't have any sort of multi-access options, so it's still really hard to actually see stuff in R&D. But you have the power to now break through this ice if you need to. Let's see, Boomerang? Boomerang on HQ, interesting. Oh, and Transfer of Wealth. All right. Okay, this is interesting. Resing a Sleipnir. Okay, that is not what you want to see as the runner, because the Corp is now down to 2 credits, so you're not getting nearly as much advantage out of this. However, it doesn't mean that the Corp is down to 2 credits, so you're going to be... The Corp is going to be broke after this either way, which is the other goal of Transfer of Wealth. Sure, it gets you money, but more importantly, it completely bankrupts the Corp. I have a feeling that the tags on Seb are just going to be used as fodder for drawing cards with the Amanusis at this point. That the only goal is just going to be to do that. All right, so seeing Seamless Launch, that's one of the best cards you can see, using Gourmand to trash it. There's a good chance that there was only one other Seamless Launch in hand. Like you want to keep 2 in hand if possible. And now that you've gotten rid of one, that'll help you a lot for dealing with that final agenda, dealing with the final agenda, the 5-3 that you know is coming. All right, predictive planogram, gaining through credits, and drawing 3 cards. Scary thing to do here, but could be that Luthien just wants to push out the end of the game, just saying, sure you have the Devil Charm, sure you have these tools, but I can keep you out. I can keep you out, and I can score next turn with 2 Steel Skins. Bold play, but potentially worth it. Yep. So gaining 3 and drawing 3 with predictive planogram. We haven't seen a single Spin Doctor. No Spin Doctors on either side of the field yet. Well, on either side. They're only on the Corp side. No Spin Doctors in Archives or on the field. Removed from the game. Oh no, putting ice on Archives. That's a bad sign. That is saying to the runner, yeah, don't go in my Archives either. I don't have a Spin Doctor. With 7 cards left, I have to wonder where the Spin Doctors are at this point. Another transfer! Oh no! Oh, that's... What do you do here? This transfer gives the runner enough credits to get through the Managarm, and gives the runner enough credits to... And gives you not enough credits to res the ice, no matter what it is. Yep. Using Audrey, trashing another Strike Fund, so you're getting even more money. Oh my god, the runner is now up to 12 credits. They've made... New Poldrix has now gotten from, like, nothing to 12 credits so fast. And Luthien is so broke that she can't even res a Anoetic Void. Wouldn't be surprised if this PD isn't on spin. I mean, it's a bold play. You could try it. Using those credits to remove tags, not even contesting server 1. I guess you're saying that the Corp cannot get enough money here. Spin is a crutch. Sure, spin is a crutch. Spin is a crutch. Jackson Howard was a crutch. Hedge fund is a crutch. Alright. This does mean that Poldrix is Oh, okay, so we're gonna see Tranquility Home Grid get raised. That'll help with the money issues quite a lot, and that does say what that last upgrade in that server was. However, with 4 cards in that server, you have to imagine that there is now another Anoetic in that server. So you now have 2 credits. That's enough to use Anoetic. 3 credits is enough to use Anoetic. But you just gave New Poldrix even more money with strike funds. And also, New Poldrix finally has no tags, so can start playing Privileged Access again. Oh. Oh, this is rough. 3 credits. You can't res this because you need the money for the Anoetic that you probably have in that server. But the runner is just going to use this to get back any card that they want, and then also get back a Gourmand and install something from hand. This is the danger of Seb. Seb can just run over you if you give Seb the slightest chance. Getting back 2 crews. All right, so yeah, this server is busted wide open. Even with the Anoetic, the runner can pay the credits twice. Whatever's in there is getting done. It's been an interesting. I've said that, like, I've been surprised that New Poldrix hasn't pushed on the Corp more, has, like, let the Corp play things out, but shows what I know, because that has made New Poldrix able to really consistently keep the Corp held down. Resing Virus. Interesting. That's not the choice I expected, but okay. It'll purge Audrey. However, if you access Mavirus first, then you do get... Yeah, you could just get the Mavirus stuff back from using Audrey. That's rough, because that you see that and you know that the runner wanted to do that earlier. Okay, Perfect Recall. Wait, Perfect Recall didn't get used. No, Perfect Recall did not get used. We did get in, we did see the melee list, and we did see that we can't steal it because we do not have the clicks. However, the Corp has 3 clicks and 0 credits. There's no way the Corp can possibly do this. Seb's game plan is never trying to win the game. Yeah, it's a thing that I'm not used to. The extreme prison Seb, but it works so well when you can make it work. You could just boost up to so many credits so fast from nothing with Seb, with Audrey, and all of these tools. It makes me sad because the tools that Seb is using are the tools I use out of Phoenix, and I use them for funny shenanigans, whereas Seb uses them to do horrible crimes. And then they get banned because Seb was using them for horrible crimes when I was just having fun with them. I kid. All right. Clicking for credits 3 times. Always rough. 5 cards left in R&D. At this point, I think as Seb, you might just say, I'm not even going to try and score. I'm not going to try and score. I'm just going to keep every server you put out. I'm going to destroy everything in it with crew. I'm going to completely decimate your ability to do things and win the game when you run out of cards. Alternatively, just run archives and see what is probably a lot of things in there. Running here just to trash... Oh, well, going and getting the 5-3 out of there, just to make sure the Corp can't score it. At this point, honestly, you're getting this 5-3 not even to score points, but just to keep the Corp off it. You'll probably win after doing this and after doing an Archives run, which is what I'll expect to see next. But mostly, this is useful because you could just... The Corp can't score points now. The Corp has no threat of winning the game. Not even going for it. Just gonna put down another Devil Charm and sit and let the Corp suffer. 4 cards left in the deck. You're out of options. Hedge Fund. Suspect we'll see probably either an Archives run or maybe even a... Yeah, I was going to say run on R&D to trash whatever's there with Gourmand. You don't need to win the game. Yeah. Yeah, you don't need to win the game with a Seb. You can just win the old-fashioned way. By letting the Corp deck out. Access a card. Or you could win off of R&D anyways. Will it happen? Trashing the Drafter. Will this be the win? Nope. But trashing an Anoetic Void. 2 cards left in R&D. And we're pretty sure that one of them is a... Yep, that's 0 cards. There's the mill victory. That's game. Mean deck. Anytime you see a mill victory in Netrunner, it's always a little bit disgusting. Alright. It means that the thing about a mill victory is it usually means that the runner was such a prison deck that they were able to lock down the corp completely. Putting a card in the server, playing Seamless Launch, which, you can't do that. Oops. Yeah. It is a deck, when you see that, it's a prison deck that has locked the corp down so completely that the threat of the corp scoring out is less than the threat of them making a mistake by trying to win. So you look at your options and you say, this corp is so locked in prison that I can kill them. Yeah, it's a good thing Ashen was banned. I mean, this deck, look at how well it used Ashen. Yeah. I don't agree. I don't like the Ashen ban personally, but we'll see. Maybe I will be wrong. That's game. GG. Well done. All right. That was exactly showing off how powerful Seb was. Malus U, which is a deck I expect to see a lot today, versus a Lat, which is interesting. Probably on some sort of deep dive shenanigans. I don't respect Lat, but I do respect anyone that's playing something that isn't a standard. There's a lot of non-standard stuff today. So, see how this one goes. Augustus Caesar. So, one thing I find interesting, she starts the game, they have to show off the 3 cards that are the cards that they're doing. When your discard plays against, when the runner reveals that the 3 hidden faces are Tenure Floor, Subsurface Lands, and Disposal Grounds. Now, what's really interesting here, yes, 90 card Mirror Morph deck is jank. What's really interesting here is that implies that at some point you could print another copy of Malus U. There could be another one, the one that just explodes when you run on it or something. Nothing is stopping NSG from printing another copy of Malus U in the future and making that even weirder. Just like eventually they added more directives, FFG added more directives. You could do that. Anyways, Malus U, 3 ice, or 2 ice and a card in a server, 3 installs. Always a bit of a scary start because let's say the runner runs HQ, you res that, then the runner can run server 1 with no issues. However, just blind running against Malus is very scary to do, and usually something you don't want to. Alright, starting out with a telework contract and a simulship. Interesting. Alright. Regolith mining license, so now that that's down and resed, means that there's a good chance that Malus will be able to res both of these pieces of ice. Sad, but makes sense. This is technically a... Let me check something real quick. Now, it's interesting because right now is a more safe time than usual to run on Malus U servers, just because since there's nothing in archives, all you're doing is letting the corp draw a card. But, I mean, that is still doing something. Right, so Shaper generally needs a lot of time to set up. We'll see how long this one takes to set up. By the way, just as a note, if you're watching the stream or such, please don't join this game to spectate. Just watch the stream. Watch with me. Yes. All right. Starting with pinhole threading. Going on. Man, that's interesting. Yep. It was in fact R&D. So let me double check how this worked. The disposal grounds. Oh no, it was archives, so failed to hit the right one. Sadness. But did get to trash that Regolith mining license before the corp could make any more money on it. Still got 9 credits off of it, but no more than that. Aside from that, drawing some cards. We played a strike fund for value. Never what you want to see, but something you can do. Interesting to see strike fund here. Not sure why that's in the deck. Well, hold on. Strike Fund and Steel Skin. Okay. What's going on here? Hold up. Why is there a Strike Fund and a Steel Skin in a Shaper deck? Because that right there is... That's... Well, Strike Fund's only one influence, I guess, so it's not the worst thing to put in there. Then Steel Skin is two influence, though. They're good card draw, but why are those both in here? Is this an events deck? Like an Anacam style deck? Potentially. Alright, so we're putting a card in server 1, advancing it once. Now, the thing about Simulchip is it's very nice, but there are no programs. Anacam Audrey. Anacam Audrey would be interesting. Catboy. Is there a Catboy deck right now? Do I need to go familiarize myself with Catboy? Is this the Audrey Lat? Ah, there is an Audrey Lat. Thank you. I love whenever there's a weird deck and someone in chat is like, oh, this is the Audrey Lat, or this is the this. And I'm like, oh, okay. So someone did something interesting. Cool. Catboy's Audrey Anacam Lat. A really interesting build. Oh no, Ganked Gaming. Yeah, there's an unresed upgrade in that server. What do you think it is? Good chance it's ganked. All right, let's see. Putting on a propeller. That'll help. It'll help with some barriers, but not with everything. However, it will give you something to trash Simulchip with to get cards back if you need them. That's very useful if you could start getting cards into your bin, but the Lat is off to a bit of a slow start here. Needs to find some more ways to get cards down on the table. Not as much ice as I'd normally expect from Melis. 4 credits a turn drip. Yeah, but... Okay, into the depths. Alright, so going to go get a card with this, most likely. Hoping that you can get in here and then go get a program is my guess. Because nothing on the field you really need to charge, and you don't need the money. So we're hoping that this is a barrier, or if it's not a barrier, that it's just something we can get through. Now, there are some cards that could literally kill you here. There's a couple of things that could just straight up kill you for making this play. Will we see one of them? I think there's only one. I think just the Sentry that deals 3 net damage, but deals more if you hit more stuff, is the only card that can kill you. But it's still a bold play, because you might just instantly die. No res. Okay. Now that does count as passing on ice, so you will get the trigger off into the depths. I assume we're going to see possibly go get an Audrey. Just get it already. Solid program from stack. If it's that important to the deck, you might just want to go grab it immediately. But I'm not sure exactly what this deck wants to do. You could also go grab basically anything else. No, grabbing a Palangi. Now that's a good play because this will let you get into the server. This will let you potentially do this twice, so long as this ice... Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, no, with this, you can get into server 1. Because you can recur the propeller if you need more... You can recur the Palangi to make this into barrier twice. Lotus Haze, however... Ooh, okay, Lotus Haze is so rough. This card is so cool. I love it. It's so rough. So what Lotus Haze is going to be really interesting in here is if this is a ganked deck, which I'm assuming it is. Ganked is encounter an ice that you saw on this server. Lotus Haze will allow the corp to basically just move that wherever you want. Like, okay, you're running on HQ, encounter that ice twice. Okay, you're running on server 1, encounter that ice twice. It's really annoying. Alright, so... Oh, this sucks. So now you are potentially looking at 2 ganked in a server, which means you can run the runner through this ice potentially 3 times. If you do that, the Palangi can only be recurred once, so the runner can't do it twice. There's the Anacam. So that'll help if you lose something. I think you would be safe to contest server 1 here. Like, I think it's technically safe, and we're going to see it. Alright, we'll see what this ice is. What this ice is going to determine a lot. Mitra Aman! Oh no. Okay. Swapping it out for... Oh, a teeny here. Okay, so... A teeny's interesting. There's only 1 ganked, which means you are safe to go through this once. You are going to have to go through it twice, though. But I think that's doable. Yeah, like... You could just take some damage here and... deal with it. You can take some damage and spend some credits to deal with this without a huge bunch of issues. Okay. Paying 6 credits to go through it. Now, we're probably going to see a ganked here, which will make you go through it again, but this time you could use Propeller and Palangi to go through it for only 3 credits. And that'll mean you get in, you get rid of the ganked, and you get whatever's in this server. Watch it be a Urtica Cipher. It'll be very funny when it's just an Urtica Cipher. The Teeny is pretty good to see. I was worried about it being seen because it's 5 strength, which means you can't get Propeller through it twice. But I forgot that there was the overclock. All right, let's see. It was a Charlotte. Okay, we see a Charlotte and we see Lacosta Grid. Okay. So that's a really good get. That's a really good get there because you didn't lose that much. The overclock let you pay through the Atini, no problem. It wasn't a ganked. And you got rid of the Charlotte so the Lacosta Grid can't start giving it. Because Charlotte is, when your turn begins, you can remove an advancement counter to gain 4 credits and draw a card. And Lacosta Grid is place 1 advancement token on a card installed in the server. So if those two can sit in a server with each other, that means you're going to be spending so much time just... It's just going to be slowly improving. That's like getting you 4 credits and a card every turn, which is so much money. And also, when it's not ganked, you don't have to worry about how many uses you have of Propeller and Palangi. This is a good place to be for the runner, even with that Lotus Haze scored, because you know you can get through this. You know you can get through it twice if need be because you have the credits to spend. Alright. However, not being able to trash the Lacosta Grid is really scary because it means that the Corp could potentially just... The Corp could throw something down that... Oh, okay. Getting the 3 credits. Playing Sure Gamble. Lots of money. Are we going to go back in? I would not be surprised if we went back in. But not being able to get rid of that Lacosta Grid is real rough because it means that if that's an agenda, this agenda gets scored this turn. And we have like 2 Lotus Hazes scored, which is horrible. Not even going to contest it. Putting down a Unity. Alright, so Unity means you can get through the Atini much easier. That ganked is no longer a danger. Nothing's really a danger here. A lot of upgrades is a bit of a danger. You know that one of those is the Lacosta Grid. So you know you're safe at least once. And you have the credits. I'm not too worried about this, honestly. See, we also have a pressure spike in the bin, which isn't useful right now, but will be useful later. And there's another overclock. Oh, another overclock feels so good. All right, we're going to see Mitra Mon gain 3 credits and swapping this ice out, potentially. Curious if we'll see this get swapped. No swap. Okay, so just doing it for 3 credits. Playing the Mitra Mon as a very slow make money. Paying all the way through. We're going to get in. Another Charlotte. Costs 2 to trash. And then I assume we'll see both of them get trashed this time. Trashing the Lacosta Grid with all the rest of your money? Do you do it? I'm not actually sure here, because it takes you down to 1 credit, which is really hard to recover from. But also, this deck was on Strike Fund, so there are some good ways to recover for it. Choosing not to trash it. That's scary. I almost wonder, like, do you just use Propeller and Palangi to get through that anyways? For cheaper, so that you can trash it easier? Alright, next we're going to see a Jailbreak. Alright, what are we going to see on HQ? So this will let you sweep the hand, which is real good. We see an Empiricist. Alright, and here's what you were saving that Palangi and that Propeller for. Because Empiricist is scary. It is a lot of subroutines that all suck, but only cost 3 credits with this. What are we going to see? A Fuji! Oh, wow. Okay, that's 3 points right there. Wait, that's two Fujis. That's 6 points. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Okay. That's very scary. Losing Buffer Drive, Coalescence, Ritual and Spec Work. Okay, and the runner doesn't have the credits. So if we see a measured response here, that's an instant kill. I don't know if this deck is running measured response, but ooh, this gives Caesar potentially some chances just to instantly kill the runner here, but also means that Caesar is on game point. Any point here wins it for Torpedo. Draw. Don't have the credits to measured response. Can't do anything. Oh my gosh. Wow. What a lucky hit from hand. That was beautiful. Sometimes you jailbreak and you immediately find two different you break out the clone facility. Yeah, that'll tilt you so hard. And immediately getting back up to money. Coalescence. Then you know there's that Lacoste grid in there, so this could score out the Corp another bunch of points very quickly. Nope, just another Charlotte. That's a lot of money. That helps, but not what you need because, or I guess at 2 credits you actually do need that. Never mind. That is what you need. But it's still a server that the runner can get in pretty quickly, especially with the amount of money that the runner has. And those simul chips are still there on the board. You have to start worrying a little bit about how much money you have, about what you're doing with things. But the thing is, at this point, the nice thing about being on 6 points is if you see any agenda, you just win the game. You don't have to mess around and be like, oh, well, if I steal this, am I going to get punished? You just instantly win the game. At this point, as Lat, I think I'm just going, okay, what can I do to see more cards? Where's my jailbreaks? Where's my conduit? Where's my anything that lets me see more cards? Just win the game as fast as possible. But that might be because I'm bad at the game and I'm always focused on that. I mean, we saw how much I was focusing on that during the Seb game, and that was the wrong choice. I would not be surprised to see us start hitting R&D and HQ very hard, though. Especially because R&D will bankrupt the Corp again. Sure Gamble, great thing to have in your hand. Lots of money now. And you still have that Palangi, which is going to mean you can get into R&D. And you still have the Simul chip, which means if you get through R&D and see a ganked, you can go into R&D again by just re-Palangiing because of the Unity. Alright, we're going to see... That's so good! Pinhole threading is so good here because it means you can trash the Charlotte, and the Charlotte is now completely useless. Gosh. Yeah, no real threat from Lotus. Running is not that scary. There's not a ton you could do. And now the Corp's big thing, it feels really, really bad to have a Lacoste grid in the server and just watch it do nothing. Oh boy. I like Pinhole. I like that Pinhole exists. It keeps the game a certain amount of fair. Divinata Drone! Let's go! Let's go. That's another... Wait a minute. Oh, this deck isn't running Mayfly though. But that's another Bugs! Let's go, Bugs. Love to see Bugs. Exactly what you want, though. Now you have a way to see more cards from R&D. You're gonna see another ice go up on R&D. Quite possibly doesn't matter that much. Agendas in hand because of the HQ call and melees. Possibly, yeah. We'll see about this. Okay, Tatu Bola. Honestly, fine to see it. You can get rid of it with Propeller very easily. This means that the next ice you can deal with using Oh, it's just Natini. Okay, so that's even better because you could just use Unity to break that normally. Yeah. Alright, here we go. This could be game. 4 from Overclock and 1 for the credit pool to break this, and we're in. Seeing, we did hit R&D here. And that's game. That's game right there. Wow. Oh, that is a back-breaking jailbreak. One of my favorite things about talking about Netrunner is just how often you get to see a play that is just, okay, you instantly win because you saw the most devastating game possible. Someone just got as lucky as possible. Versus Nebula. Oh boy. Alright, so the 2 events-based decks. Interesting. Alright, and we've got 10 cards left in the deck for Nebula. That's not a ton of cards left in the deck for Nebula. And 10 cards left in the deck for Mushliat. 2 Spin Doctors removed from the game so far. Along with a Moon Pool. Moon Pool, let's go. Love to see Moon Pool. And 2 points scored out on one side of the table, 4 points scored out for the Corp. This is definitely some sort of fast advanced Nebula. There is a Touchstone. Alright. So Touchstone implies to me that this deck might be on like a Baker or something. If that's true, that would be really, really rough for the Corp. So that's 2 Piranhas. Ooh. How much is that going to cost to break? 3 bad publicity right now is very rough for the Corp. Still need a fair bit of stuff, so we're probably going to have to take some damage here. A lot of bad publicity is not... It's rough. And it's going to turn off Gemelang, which is going to mean you can't do it. 3 from Overclock. Look at archives, see if there are any flood the markets in there. Let's see. There is... No, but there's red level clearance, top-down solutions, your digital life, non-equivalent exchange. Not a ton of flood the market. I don't know what this nebula is doing here. 4 credits. Reaches R&D, season on season card, and a Hermes. Ooh. Hermes isn't the worst card because potentially you don't have any to worry about, but you don't have many unrezzed cards on the field right now, but it's still rough. The nice thing about Piranhas is that it is 6 strength no matter what. So it's going to be hard to deal with no matter what. Now, potentially you could just outdraw the Nebula, but that's hard against Nebula. Nebula's a little bit threatening here. With only 4 credits, I'm not sure there are a lot of ways to score out. Predictive Planogram, gaining 3 credits. Not going to draw cards. Smart play, smart play. Choosing just to not draw any cards at all. Because you know that the runner has 3 tags, but if you draw, you're potentially decking yourself. That's a really important thing. Runner having 3 tags is definitely a rough thing here. Especially because that means you can shuffle back in Oracle Think Tank at any moment. So the runner has very few points. And Nebula is a dangerous thing because you can't just wait out the Nebula like you could the PD. Because the Nebula can score from hand and is probably going to try to do so. Alright, we're pushing on HQ now. I assume he's desperately looking for stuff. Finding a free-to-play. Okay. You do have to break that. And do we have a Sentry Breaker? Yeah, we have Revolver. So that's... Ooh, that's rough. Oh, that hurts. Because you got to increase Revolver strength twice. Wait, no. Do you not? 5 strength? Yeah, increase the strength to 7. I was right, yeah. Oh, that's just the 4 is the number of counters on it, right? Yeah, I'm dumb. But yeah. Rough stuff. Alright, Kurapira. I mean, it's good to have with Kurapira to have the ping there because it means that you can charge it, essentially. Sang is interesting here. Sang is really rough is the thing because it means that you can't keep hitting HQ and R&D over and over again because, like, you don't really have as many options. Like, if you run out of run events, your Icebreaker becomes really, really bad now. And Sang is the only way of getting through the Piranhas. So currently it costs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get through Piranhas. But if we run out of run events, this is going to cost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to get through the Piranhas. That's rough. There is 3 bad pub, which will help with that, but that's still really rough. Overclocks with really important, yeah. Sang Cancel really struggles without run events. It's an interesting part of it. Corp is thinking about options. The Corp did get flipped back over, so don't get the Nebula thing this time. You do have 10 turns left if you don't draw any cards. Miss Steve. Oh, are we going to see a score out? Score out? More points? Moonpool the trash. 2 cards from HQ. King making tomorrow's headline. 2 advanced encounters. Embedded reporting. There we go. I love Moonpool so much. It's so beautiful. Oh, hell yeah. Embedded reporting. So that puts the runner at 6 points. Now, there is not another post-truth. We've seen all the post-truth dividends. So there's not an easy way to score out from here. But you are at 6 points. You also didn't play... you did not get to play an operation last turn. And you are at 2 credits, which is rough. But runner can just get in here. Oh. Wait, never mind. Potentially has realized that the Corp can't score out this turn. Don't have the Nebula trigger, don't have the credits, and don't have the potential post-truth dividend. So is saying, Now, I'd rather just not do that right now. I want to save it for when I have more options. We'll see. I'm not sure exactly what your plan is here as the runner, though. Getting a bunch of credits. What's in the heap right now? We've seen all 3 transfer of wealths, 2 jailbreaks, 3 clean getaways, 3 bravados, 3 carpe or 3 carpe diems. Almost all of your run events, it feels like, are in the bin right now. So many. They broke the last sub on an earlier run twice when it wouldn't have ended the run. That's a good point. Piranhas is, you have to be very careful with it like that. It's difficult. All right. Draw 1 card, YDL. That's hurts to see as the runner because now you're in danger again. And the corp has 6 credits. You can hit R&D, but you would need to see 5 points to win. And I don't think this deck is running a 5-3. It might be running next big thing. Maybe. But, like, it's not a ton of actions. There's twinning. Okay. So this will let you start seeing 2 cards per time from hand. It's a bit rough because you do have to fully break these. Or, well, you don't technically have to fully break. You can just break the last one. But, scary. Is there a 3rd Spin Doctor in Archives? Let's check. Yes, there is. So all Spin Doctors are removed from the game at this point. Rough. Let's see. Okay. So now you only have 1 break here. So you can only break, or no, you have 2 things. So you just have to break the end the run and you break to do the net damage. All right. Interesting play. 1 counter on twinning. That'll let you see 1 card. Now, the thing about this, though, is even if you get points, the corp can just shuffle back in Oracle Think Tank. Like, you aren't really threatening to win. You are flipping over Nebula. I mean, that is points. That puts you at 5 points, but I think the corp just, like, if I'm the corp, I might just if you have an event, play event, shuffle, and that's it. Make the runner do it again. Or just win with a moon pool. Win with a moon pool. Let's go. I love to win with a moon pool. There we go. That's game. Moonpool is one of my favorite cards. I played with it for a very long time. I love seeing Moonpool not in Jinteki because it means someone's doing very funny stuff. There's a number of aces at this tournament, and I didn't expect that because I have not heard that Ace is very good, so I'm curious to see how the Aces are holding up and what sort of builds they're running.
I know from after the Hoshiko ban, there was a effort to try just drag Anarch out of Asa and play mostly reg Anarch cards, play a Begamot, play Marrow, but not really the Tetsuchikas, not really the running hots.
So we've seen there's 1 virtual service agent on the field. It is res, so presumably the runner ran through it and trashed the cohort guidance program that is in the bin right now. Well, actually, I can just go check. Yep, the runner did do exactly that. Also played a running hot, turn 1. Oh. Strong start from the runner. Epiphany going wide as usual, doing asset spam things. Curious if this.
Yeah, so definitely the VSA makes me think this is going to be pretty ice light and pretty asset heavy.
Yeah, definitely. Although we could also definitely see, given that there's 2 servers with ice on them, could very easily see a flood the market here. Wouldn't be surprised by that. Well, runner getting a lot of money. Fermenter into Sure Gamble. Wonder what we'll see come down. Seeing a cheap code gate breaker is exactly what you'd want to do, but it can be difficult if you're... Some Asa builds just don't even have a good code gate breaker. You're just relying on other tools, so...
We're seeing a Pinhole Threading come in here as one of those tools.
Yeah. Now, VSA isn't the worst thing because finding another cohort, oof. That's 2 cohorts in the bin already. That's a big slowdown. That's a lot of potential money. No res on what's in server 2? Oh, it's a regolith. Alright, so there's all the money for Moriko. All the money you could possibly want. And while it's only 3 credits to go trash that, it is a full 3 credits and 2 clicks to go trash that because of the VSA. And also the 3 credits from trashing it. So 6 credits and 2 clicks. Not what you want to do to deny the corp 6 credits and 2 clicks. Getting down to Nuka, that'll help a lot. We see some more cards. Hopefully you can see like 2 core damage already down.
Wildcat Strike coming in.
Wildcat Strike this early. I mean, if the corp just gives 4 cards,
Cards?
the runner's the runner has to discard down to 3 cards in hand. That's rough. I assume the runner's just desperately digging for tools, but that's so many cards in the bin. Let's see what we get.
So if there's a Marrow in those cards, this is such a good angle to install Marrow.
You can't out of clicks.
Oh yeah. Last click. Yep. Okay.
Wonder if the runner is regretting that decision, losing all of these cards. But could also just be, I want to find my breakers immediately, or I want to find my Azamat as soon as possible. I'm up against Epiphany. Who knows? All right, what did we lose? We lost Nuka. We lost a Carmen and a Buzzsaw. Interesting. Another Nuka, a Strike Fund, and a Steel Skin. That's a lot of cards.
I would say that was actually the second Carmen. Yes, that's the second Carmen. So I'm basically completely certain at this point that there's probably an Ashen in the list.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, 2 Ashens in discard. Last Kit Wildcat is tough. Yeah, it's a different, if it's a difficult thing. 2 Carmens does imply this is trying to do a very reg build though, because 4 influence on just Sentry Breakers sounds like you're making a very normal Anarch build.
Yeah, and Anarchs are suffering a little bit when it comes to killers.
Mm-hmm. Grabbing something from the top of R&D. Who knows what it is. Taking a lot of time to make a choice and putting it immediately into server 3. We still don't know what the ice is there. Could be something really scary. Could be a ping. Ping's still going to keep you out right now, but possibly not for long. Getting more money off the regolith, leaving it with 3 credits. We're potentially looking at Flood the
leaves it
here
in the server. So yeah, Flood the Market is still being telegraphed some here.
Drawing up with Nuka. And there's the Marrow. Losing a Hannah with it. Hannah's rough. You'd really love to see Hannah against this sort of deck. I mean, it is an asset deck. But it can help you get rid of the tags, and it could do a lot here. But getting the Marrow down is so important. Let's see what comes next. And then another Fermenter. So just still setting up.
Especially because this is potential setup for a score coming in this turn, and like the additional disruption of the Marrow.
Yep.
1 sabotage is not a lot by itself, but it does add up.
Yeah. Looks like we probably aren't going to see a score this turn. Instead, we're seeing Regolith get finished. Figuring out what to do here.
We certainly just some thinking.
Yeah. Aces definitely. The Asa seems like the sort of deck that's going to start trashing cards and giving you triggers on Epiphany. However, Asa is the sort of deck that can also just kind of stall out and sabotage you a lot and not steal agendas. So you're potentially not going to have as many triggers as you'd want in a normal game. Another Nuka. Well, that's good. That's definitely what you really want to have. Especially when you're back
tear through this stack down to 23 cards halfway through the deck.
Yep.
Quick influence count. There's been 2 Carmens. There's been 3 Nukas. There's been 1 Pinhole, so that's 11.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, that's 6. So yeah, that's 11 total right now. T400 Memory Diamond, interesting. I guess just because you need some more memory, but I'm not sure what you're using that memory on.
Well, the hand size can be a little nice in
Yeah,
pushing
true.
for a
Can
slightly larger behemoth.
potentially be good for that. Still drawing through the whole deck as fast as possible. Bring out a Spin Doctor. Epiphany also drawing a ton of cards here. Get more cards at the table. More cards, just so many cards down.
If
Steel
Depost
Post
managed
is
to get
not.
this fermenter to cook for another turn or two and pop it at more like 4 or even 5, um, that could be really high leverage.
Putting down Embotulus on the HQ ice. So that'll get you in. Potentially setting up to be run over by Mavirus. I always love seeing that. Always a chance.
Just reset it for later, gives the watch list a little bit of time to cook.
Yeah, I mean it's a good thing to just have on the field. Crashing the fermenter, getting some money from it, and going for R&D. Interesting. Crashing a federal fundraising.
That does keep over the Epiphany counter.
I'm not exactly sure, because that does give an Epiphany counter. Oh, and there's, well, score the crypto crash without giving the counter. I mean, that's pretty nice. They just have a leech with your breakers costing 4, and then a Gourmand fermenter. That makes sense. All right, there's a federal fundraising. Gonna draw you more cards. We still haven't seen what the game plan is from this Epiphany yet. We don't know what the plan is
So
aside
we've
from
not
just
seen any fast advance pieces. We've not seen.
like it's probably just Hollow Man king making stuff. That's what I've mostly seen from Epiphany, but we don't know quite yet because we haven't seen it.
I was just going to note that there are the other 2 VSAs currently in archives, and there are 2 face down ice. So those are not VSAs. I'd expect probably to see things like ping in this list as cheap gear check that
Yep.
costs the runner tempo, but it's a little hard to be certain, and it could also be stuff like Doom Scroll or.
There's also just a lot of cards and servers we haven't seen anything happen with. Server 2, nothing's happened there. Server 3, nothing's happened there. These cards have just sat on the table for quite a while at this point.
In fact, everyone's now being more protected. Oh, and with the. Okay, I'm now thinking the possibility of um, like Reaper function and end of the line.
Yeah, could potentially be.
That was the Table Carnage list from like a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
But it could be
Just a
something
ping.
more along those lines. That's a kill line coming out.
Chashtushka's gonna hurt here. Definitely a difficult deck to play against Asa. Oh, B1001. Boy. There's a card you don't see every day. Did its job here. I don't know if I don't know if I've ever actually seen B1001 do a good thing like that. Like stop an important run event like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible to see.
And speaking of agendas, this could also be orbital superiority for kill lines.
True, true. Possible reason to put a single advancement counter on it. So we're going back into HQ, just going to see what we can find there. B1001 lives in Epiphany, big church crap. Trashing a Spin Doctor always hurts, but you have the Spin Doctor out on the field, so not the worst thing. You're not down to 0 credits, though. Like, you have the Ghost Tongue, which can help you a little bit, but very broke right now. Just a final normal draw. Runner is looking broke.
Looking for money, perhaps.
We'll see what happens with this card in server 1. It could be a Vladisberg grid. That would make a lot of sense as a card to have down there.
Mm.
I'm always scared whenever I see a really weird looking board that there's a kill line that I just haven't figured out yet. It's happened to me too many times when I'm just like, oh, right, that card can kill you. Right. I think the last one that happened to me was when I forgot that See How They Run gives you a tag and does damage, and then you can kill with end of the line after that. I forgot that was the thing.
Here's the run for a second. The Ghost Tongue does really help with rebound economy, since it opens up lines like Strike Fund into Sure Gamble, which is just something you can play with Ghost Tongue down.
Yeah. No, it's very good. We'll see where this goes. Corp, thinking very carefully about this, has 12 credits, so plenty of money to do basically anything with. It's not lost that many cards to Aces so far. Only 6 cards in the bin. New remote and a single advancement. Okay. I don't know what to make of that.
I'm still saying this is set up for a kill line.
Yeah, that I mean, I would not be surprised.
Taking a click forward into the future.
Yeah.
Chat saying that this could be a Vlad grid in server 2, which is also very possible. Vlad grid with 2 counters does advance a 4-2 from hand.
Yep. Could be weirdly that the runner was just saying, interesting, raindrops on HQ. Interesting choice. I might have chosen to do it on a different server just for the card draw, but I mean, you do definitely get in here. Finding a Starlit Knight, not very useful, but you do get up 4 credits pretty fast. Still no breakers, no tools, just the T400, the... Nothing out on the field yet. Another Fermenter? Very slow turn for Asa. Not what you want to be. Not what you want to be doing when there's this much stuff on the field. Will we see some sort of kill line?
Chat's also mentioning the possibility of artificial crypto crash, and there was one stolen earlier, so it's certainly a card that is in the list.
We do know it's there, and it could be that the... Oh, shoot, sorry. Lost the game. It could be that the corpse just slow rolling it to get the most value out of it. That would surprise me. I'd suspect that this deck is probably on our newest worst boy. What's his name? The Magistrate. But...
yes.
That's if it's not doing a kill line. If it's running crypto, then I'm guessing it's... I just assume crypto decks are on that. Right. Another server. Oh boy. I'm going to scroll over a bit so we can hopefully see at least most of the servers.
It's a
There
very
it
slow
is.
freedom of information.
It is a freedom of information, and got a magistrate on the board to bankrupt the runner again. So it could just be that we're just waiting for either the runner to take a tag or or like be in a place where you can do it easier. Interesting choice. I guess just eventually said, I just want to start scoring out. Things are going too slow. 4 credits from Fermenter. Not the best start from Ferment. Not the most thing from Fermenter, but it gets you enough. Like, that's enough to play a hedge fund, which can be really good. Ooh, running hot. Lots of clicks can
Not
get into
entirely
HQ
sure
once.
there is to do with these clicks.
Uh-huh.
Okay, the Testushka on HQ is nice, a nice bit of pressure.
Yep.
Although I really would enjoy seeing this Spin Doctor challenged first.
Yeah, because anything you lose might just be shuffled back in.
Exactly.
Sabotage 4. All of them from hand. Come on, let's see it. 3 from hand.
With 3 cards in HQ, that seems tricky to manage.
Oh, it's a bad idea. I just think it would be cool. And immediately running archives. Yeah, definitely.
So I mean, this is challenging the spin almost certainly. Yes.
Yeah.
There's the spin.
The one difficulty is that there is another spin in archives, so you can't get 2 agendas out and also get the spin back. You are losing the final spin if you do that. What do we find?
Which is a little unfortunate, but
Nothing. Oh, but now we can see what's in this deck a little bit better.
oh, there just took the embers.
Oh, no, wait, never mind. Yeah, there's 2. That's 6 points. Wow, okay. I went too fast. I didn't see the
Oh, yeah, there's crypto and a stoke. Okay.
what got shuffled back
Uh,
in?
Well, so the problem here is that if, speaking of kill lions, if this is a measured response in HQ somewhere,
Yeah, that would kill.
that would kill.
This could be measured
Stoke the
response and
embers.
just keeping the runner as poor as possible. There's an Oppo research which implies tag things, but yeah.
Also with the magistrate,
choosing
these
not
cost
to
3 to
steal.
steal.
Right, yeah, you don't have to because the runner can't steal them. Right. Oh my
Correct,
god.
but also the runner can't steal them because the runner is broke.
Going to go back and steal one thing. Dangerous in the face of possible measured, although we can see one. Only 2 influence, so definitely could be a measured somewhere. Choosing to grab the Stoke the Embers. Drawing 1 card. Is that game?
Suspect we will find out momentarily.
You don't have a way to get that other agenda out of archives, so this is dangerous because if you don't have the game winning right here, you're just you're giving the runner 6 points. Because I don't think there's any way for the Epiphany to get those agendas out of archives with the Spin Doctor already in archives. Drawing 2 cards.
Again, there's a lot of influence not showing. There could be Moonfools. There could be...
Yeah, we still don't really know what this Epiphany is doing.
Descents? There could be Simulation Reset?
A lot of time. That's an install, so I assume that we don't have an instant kill. Oh, nope. There's the Oppo research
a big
instead.
Oppo. Small Oppo. It's a small Oppo.
Small Oppo, but the runner doesn't really have a good way to get rid of it unless there's a strike fund or something in hand.
Yeah.
However, you can just draw up so you're not running into... Yeah. Credit, remove a tag, draw does save you from end of the line here. From double end of the line.
Yes. It also saves you from single end of the line.
Well, yeah, no, it saves you from single end of the line. Ooh, not gonna draw up? Was that a mistake? No, just taking the credit. Assuming the corp doesn't have a single end of the line in hand. Balanced coverage, getting credits.
Federal fundraising rearranges. And we will see
it? You know there's a B1001 in this deck, so you know that like you can't really run while you have a tag. I keep expecting the corp to just be like, okay, I'm gonna go fast now because I could just instantly kill you. But still slow rolling, so what are we gonna see?
Definitely some thinking here.
You can't oppo again because the runner doesn't have any agendas or
Mhm.
anything. Did nothing
And
on the
also,
last turn.
even discounting the end of the line potential, uh, Stupos going down to one tag does prevent freedom of information from being a 2/2 that can be scored from hand.
True, true. We're seeing an install, so I assume no end of the line. That just might not be on end of the line, but then what is it spending the points on? Install credit credit. Fascinating.
Install credit advance, threatening the 4/2.
Scary thing, especially when you're already broke. I mean, that's a crypto crash, or even just with a magistrate out, it's going to make you lose all of your money. You haven't gotten rid of the tag yet. Alright, tag is gone. Take a credit. Wildcat.
And Gain 6 tells me that this is almost certainly a crypto, or even just the Magistrate 3 is enough to be worth it.
Also could just be that you're trying to push out agendas and score because the runner's in such a bad place, you have a chance to really take them out here. Let's see.
Not suggesting the missing influence could be
Oh
on
right,
one
because yeah,
perception or
you gave the
prototype.
wildcat. Once, yeah.
Right, the Wildcat was credits given.
Maybe influence on warm reception and working prototype. I mean, yeah, that could be. We haven't seen that though. We haven't seen any influence. Just 2 influence so far. Or considering what to do. If that's a crypto crash, getting the runner back down to 0 credits does feel great. Not drawing a card with federal fundraising. Stalling a new card. Taking it very slow for an Epiphany match. Interestingly slow.
Stupost is still not generating any consistent pressure, really.
Yeah. Stupost has been slowly digging out of a hole for a very long time.
Twitter as Marco, do you ever just consider overinstalling this ping?
Yeah, I think you do at a certain point. Like it's the runner's only real way in right now, and although there is an argument to be said for just keeping it out there to keep the runner running on there. Like
Mhm.
if you're not super worried, there's 2 Chastushkas in the bin. If you're not super worried about a third one, which I kind of am, and you're not worried about agendas in hand, you can just kind of keep tempting the runner into running your hand, so to speak.
Yeah, the agendas will presumably just flow directly from R&D to server 2.
Yeah, and there like if the runner isn't pushing on any other servers, not forcing you to res anything else, you can kind of like bait a runner into hitting the same server over and over again just because like, oh, here's a safe place for you to run. It's not the best strategy, but it is one I've done.
Okay, so speaking of influence, we have finally seen a cohort guidance program.
Was there a cohort at the beginning of the game? No. Or maybe that got shuffled back in. Yeah, we've seen a cohort, so I assume we will see the cohort get used to put another advancement counter on that thing. And probably
There were
score
no face downs until the cohort pitched one.
Okay. So we have seen an influence. We've seen 4 influence total so far. Using it to gain 2 and draw a card, not using it to advance what's in server 2.
There were no face downs to turn up.
No face downs to turn up. Yeah.
The face downs and archives came from the trash from HQ on cohort.
Even more assets. There are so many cards on the field right now.
You could tend to zoom out a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, I need to, I think. Enjoy your extremely zoomed out game, everyone. Putting another advancement on server 2.
I'm definitely thinking that this might be another crypto at this point. Gets 2 posts back up to 10, and then takes 2 posts back down to 0, and that should be enough.
Potentially saying that you don't have a decoder and I have another B1001 on the field, so you can't get past the virtual service agent. Period. Like, even if you found a way to break the first dice, you're not going to be able to break both of them. Right. Let's scroll down. Strike Fund, Buzzsaw. Okay, there's the Code Gate Breaker. So you could try and attack that server, potentially.
Well, there are no clicks left to do so. Tiffany is down to 11 cards in R&D, which is not
a ton
all
left.
that many.
And there is still that artificial crypto crash just sitting in the bin.
Yes. There's also going to be probably at least 2 more sabotage triggers on Marrow, plus however many sabotage triggers from additional core damage. There's presumably a big amount to come down yet. There is potentially the 3rd Running Hot.
Drawing a card with Cohort, that's scary. And using Federal Fundraising, you're now down to 9 cards. Oh, Vladismirsk? Yep, there it is. Okay. Vladismirsk to score out...
Stoke the Embers.
Stoke the Embers.
Which was installed off Epiphany Analytica.
Putting another counter back on the Vladismirsk, and making the runner lose 3 credits. You do have to sabotage 1. You're on a bit of a clock, but you're in a good place. The runner's very slow right now. Could be a Blade of On Archives would make that super safe. Potentially.
I think as Stupos, I'm definitely looking at just pivoting to a core damage and sabotage plan. Like, I don't see the board development to try and disassemble this in a... if this is ablative res into... nope, Starlit Knight.
Starlit Knight, okay. Just gonna give the runner 2 tags.
Yep.
And you are going to be able to steal the Artificial Crypto Crash, because you don't lose any credits. But then you don't have any money left, and you have 2 tags, so... Let's see what those... And there's also 3 unseen cards in Archives. I mean, like... The game could almost be over here. Not actually over, but almost be over. Oh, true. Another B1001 can just keep you out. Will we see it? I'd love to see it. Yes! And the
There's the
run!
B1001.
And that costs 3 to trash, so you can't really trash that. Not even I'm not sure exactly what line the runner has to win aside from just going all in on sabotage, and even then it's really difficult.
Yeah, so this cohort setting up the Vlad City grid is going to be a lot of advanced threat.
Mm-hmm.
Now
It
there
does
are
require you to actually
12
have
points
the
currently
agendas, but
outstanding. 2 of them are in archives, so there's still 10 points between HQ and R&D. So that's
yeah.
plausibly 5 agendas in these 13 cards.
There are 2 cards we haven't seen. Oh, reveal off-world office. I mean, that's install and score, probably.
Yep. Let's install and score.
Off-world office scored. Alright, you have 1 chance to potentially do something here. Maybe
There's
1
no
turn,
credits.
maybe 2 turns.
There is no credits. The off-world drained 3 credits.
Oh, never mind. I think that's game. I don't know how you could possibly recover from this. Like, Strike Fund, sure gamble if you had both of those, but, I mean...
I mean,
Yeah,
there's
there's
20,
1
20
Strike
each
Fund.
left.
Draw, credit, draw. Not the actions of someone with a lot of options. Another cohort. Okay, I mean that could be game right there because that's 2 advancement counters, and then you install advance for the win. Will we see it? No epiphany counter, so you can't get something out of your thing, but you could just draw it with balanced coverage. Yep. 2
I mean, just with
counters.
the 2 counters on Vlad credits.
Rearrange
Any
top 3
4-2.
cards. All you have to do is draw any 4-2. Choosing
And
not
there
to
are a lot
draw a
of
card?
4-2s, or even a 3-2. You could. Oh, tomorrow's headline.
Nope, tomorrow's
That's a
headline. There it
3-2.
is. Yep. That's game. GG. Rough game. Rough game. Runner could not dig out of a hole for the whole game. Just ran into it, just couldn't get out. Well played by Morocco. Very cool deck. Love the CB1001. Alright. Here we go.
So I do think I'm expecting Build to Last to probably be pretty happy in this. Just tends to build expensive servers to get through and doesn't usually leave cheap trashables around to touch.
Alright, early Solidarity Badge, hoping for a quick trashable. Seeing Realec. Okay.
Okay. So
Interesting.
Realec is interesting. Realec is really interesting, especially with Logjam.
Yeah, no, I was about to say, given that we're on BTL, this has to be Logjam. Like, we're absolutely going to see Logjam, right? The one thing I would be worried about with BTL here is just... If you're playing as BTL, you usually on some sort of kill strategy, in my experience. Maybe not, but a lot of BTL is on some sort of kill. And if you are playing a sort of kill deck, against Adam, or against Lou, there's a chance that you could just get completely knocked down by a Gourmand. There's no way you're not running Gourmand here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lou's absolutely on Gourmand.
5.
I will also note that this was a mulligan out of Vilgems, so this hand is looking pretty awkward.
Immediately purging. I mean, not the worst decision. Runner on 1 credit. You're gonna set back for a turn. It's not gonna do much. I assume the runner's probably just gonna do that. Finds an SDS! Oh my gosh, that's so early. Wow. Really, really rough to see. Also, definitely saying a few things about what's potentially in different servers, like the fact that there's no ice.
Yes.
No ice anywhere except for the one server, and an SDS was sitting in hand, really makes me sound like we didn't draw a single ice in our mulligan.
In the mulligan, yeah, exactly.
Charlotte gonna just
Charlotte exactly the econ that built last once.
That can potentially really help you get those cards down.
And so many credits. Just getting a credits on the back end and the front end is.
Yep. Still no ice anywhere. Ooh, Botulus, that's... And this could be a logjam, which would be really, really fun. Because Botulus with 2 counters can't kill a logjam. But probably it's just like a mask or something. This hurts a lot. Let's see what it is. No, it is a logjam!
It's a logjam.
Let's go! All right,
very tiny baby logjam.
Can't actually get through that with the 2 counters. Going to spend one... I'm not sure you... Do you really want to deny the Corp 2 credits when the Corp has 23 credits?
And a Charlotte cooking?
Yeah. I don't know if that matters too much to you. Pog jam. Yeah, exactly. Let's see a Realic log jam. I want to see it. Letting the Spin Doctor get trashed is interesting with Lou. I mean, you don't lose the Spin Doctor, but it does hurt a bit. You give Lou the bonus there, and you give a Solidarity Badge trigger. A lot of triggers there. Alright. Lots of card draw. Have we finally found more than one piece of ice?
Yeah, seeing BTL struggle to find ice is certainly a bit strange. BTL is
yep. Business as
usually
usual
not
feels
lacking in
pretty good
ice.
Here.
Yeah, it's just a fast purge.
It's always really funny when business as usual actually gets to be used to purge something. Love to see it.
And I guess Charlotte and Logjam are being advanced.
Another piece of ice on that server. Okay. We found another piece of ice and we are still just letting ourselves be open.
Bold I mean, it's going to be on transfer. I don't think so. Seeing these symbol chips, like a set of 3 symbol chips, doesn't leave a set of transfers. There might be one transfer. I'm not expecting Cheshtushka. What's the big?
Trashing the Charlotte. I'm not actually. I'm kind of surprised by trashing the Charlotte like that. Well, I guess it doesn't. Yeah, like you could have just let the Charlotte trigger and then overinstalled it, which would have been extra credit in a card. I guess maybe you don't want to draw cards in case they're agendas, but oh well. You have 33 money. You're not really worried about anything. Are we just gonna see? Let's see another agenda from hand. No, there's nice. There's Pharos. Not an easy one to get through. Logjam is now vulnerable. It does have 3 counters on it, but you could potentially just score this thing out. What is it?
Maybe it's gonna be the SDS.
Yep. Will we see the... Yeah, the Fermenter is going to come right back out. Makes sense.
Yeah, with that Sylvaner chip. But yeah, this is looking to be something like Posture Check, the very, very program trashing sort of angle.
Yeah. Devil Charm out on the field. I mean, I assume we will see a... I assume there's an Audrey, and I assume there's a crew, at least one crew.
We'll probably find some crews at some point.
Yeah. But right now, just R&D HQ completely naked. No plan for defending them.
I mean, HQ being open is fine. Any agenda just goes straight in server 2, where it's safe. I'm pretty sure.
It's so scary to leave R&D open because it's Lou. Like, you're absolutely running Gourmand, and if Cold Lava, if he can find a Gourmand, just play it, run R&D, find anything, trash it, draw 2 cards. Will we finally see another piece of ice come down? Nope.
Yes, we will finally see another ice come down. It's on server 2 again.
Viljums is hearing my commentary and saying, I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna make you more angry. You aren't ready for my incredible Netrunner plays.
And like, if Lou starts trying to block R&D here to prevent agendas from getting in, giving a click a turn to that is a pretty big commitment, honestly.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. So chisel on this. You can kill that with Chisel Charm. I assume, yeah, just not going to res. Next dice, this is... We can move the chisel, potentially, at least once.
Yes, but there's a symbol ship access. Well, this is a boomy. Crashing the botulus on the logjam, so this might have to force the... No, the symbol ship bringing that back doesn't... this is just a mess.
Yeah, you can't even... Yeah, no, there's no way in anymore. Ooh, that hurts. That's real rough. That's an awesome play.
You could...
Oh yeah, thank you, sorry. I was zoomed way far out for the asset spam match. Thank you.
So... You could break these 2 subs without losing a click.
You know what else? The Realic is still in hand.
It could be the face down card in Archives, I think.
Well, it could be, yeah, but if the Realic is still in hand, I mean... Sure, why you just don't just... Huh. I guess you're worried about losing the programs, but... Huh. I really hope the Realic is still in hand, because if it is, we can immediately see both of these get de-rezzed, and that's so funny. I want to see it. I want to see the Boomy get de-rezzed. Yes! Let's go! Oh, that hurts. So Realic lets you de-res 2 cards and then get the credits of both of those cards. De-res 2 pieces of ice. So now the Boomy is de-rezzed. And the Boomy is, when you res this, you can trash the installed Trojan. So there is no way to get into that server now. Oh, there's the Audrey. Okay, so now you have to start worrying about R&D a bit, I think. Especially because there's got to be a Gorman. All right, here we go.
Oh, yeah, you just jammed things into this server. Jamming things into this server looks so safe.
There it is. Finally, we're putting something down. All right. What did we get? We got a Strike Fund. Strike Fund is Audrey, Gachapon, Botulus, and Fermenter. So I assume we'll see a Botulus go on the R&D.
It can be a Botulus on the R&D, but like you can also potentially have a crew in hand, and like if you have crew in hand, Crew Charm gets the R&D ice, and then you don't need the Botulus for that. And you could potentially look at the Fermenter for money later. But
so the problem is you can't Chisel Charm the Logjam because there's a Boomy right in front of it, and that Boomy can trash whatever is there. Any card that you throw there, you might just immediately lose. Running HQ, finding Event Horizon, running R&D. God, and that thing on the outside is definitely a Pharos, so there's no way that Chisel is ever getting used.
It's probably a Pharos, yeah.
Oh, that hurts. Right. Unfortunately, you could just lose the game here. There it is! Like I said, I mean, this doesn't save you if the runner just gets points off R&D. Oh my god.
But like the odds are not like these are singles.
Trashing Charlotte. Getting those counters on Audrey that you're going to need later, most likely, and then installing a Gourmand or installing a Gachapon with 2 counters on the Audrey, presuming that there isn't a Fly Swatter or a my brain is shorted out. A Virus Purging card. You're probably going to be able to get into most places, presuming that you don't run into one of those. That's the thing is, like, the runner got their entire build on that one server, just completely dumpstered. But
Yes.
the Corp is not threatening a win right now. Right, there's the Gachapon. There's the Gourmand that I've been
Gachapon.
mentioning. Along with...
Kiko, get you a console.
Okay,
I
could have
don't
grabbed
think
the Gourmand.
Propeller, like these barriers are just too big for Propeller to be anything.
I presume just going to keep running on R&D and trying to use Audrey so that you don't have to spend any credits. No, going to run HQ. Not the worst play. Seeing a petty cash, you definitely don't want to cash that. Running HQ again. Measured response. There it is. What you're worried about. Paying 3 to trash. So many cards.
Yep, so many cards and so little money. 1 credit
With Audrey,
is...
with Audrey, you don't really need the money. Simul chip and taking a credit. So we are in measured response territory, and we do know 1 is in the bin. However, there are 2 more. Presumably they aren't in hand, because we've seen a lot of cards in hand.
Although 2 is not lethal. So... No, 2's lethal, okay. There's
Solid advance.
I need to pay.
You definitely don't... You definitely can't threaten that. You can't even try and get in there. Your only hope right now is just see an agenda in R&D, I think. It's... Ooh, Pharos. Okay, that's
Pharos.
not the worst thing here. You have the Audrey, but really, really like to be able to trash that.
So I just had a passing thought that with the Tungsten Tailor, Big Pharos only takes pitching 3 cards to Audrey.
Yep. I love Tungsten
Which is
Tailor.
somehow a breakpoint that matters.
A deck that's running measured... Most decks that are running measured response, you usually want to be running a Basalt, in my opinion. Basalt's just too good. It's too good with basically everything that you can do like that.
Yeah, but Basalt is incredibly good with measured. Like, it turns 1 measured into 2 measured, and it turns 2 measured into triple measured, and triple measured is just so hard to play around.
That's really interesting. Akhet with 3 counters, so you have to let the other one fire. Wait, hold on.
No, that Akhet, that's Botchless with 3 counters.
Oh, the Akhet, yeah, the Akhet did not have it.
Well, it was Botchless with 5 counters, and 2 of them were used breaking the Akhet.
Paying 1 to trash an anthill. That's good because you didn't actually, like, you trashed with the anthill, so you can go again. It doesn't feel great to go because you're going to have to spend even more stuff, but you can. Finding another anthill, great. Trash that the old-fashioned way. Using Gourmand to trash it, interesting. I presume we'll see a run right here. Just to get rid of the Pharos. And running back into the Akhet. Breaking both of its subroutines. Seeing nothing.
So it's not so much a thing in this matchup, but actually the triple advanced Akhet has interesting text into Crim.
Yeah.
Because Cure Repair triggers on fully breaks.
Yeah.
For the power counter, and with 3 advancement counters, you cannot fully break Akhet.
Cure Repair changes the math on a lot of things. I'm kind of surprised we didn't see the Gourmand get saved for R&D. But then again, you might just be trying to make the Corp, like, see what they draw, and if it's not something you normally trash, you just deal with it. But I'm kind of surprised, because I would be trying to melt down R&D as fast as possible. The 2 measured does win the game here, but almost certainly there are not 2 measured in hand. We've seen a number of cards in hand. We know that at least 1 is an anthill, and I think we've seen enough cards to know there is not a measured. There's the Basalt. So you are now in danger. Any turn, like, next turn you will get measured twice. If you run. Yep, not even gonna run. I presume what we will see is a run through the ice on R&D over and over again, using Gourmands to just trash as many cards as possible and try and find the winning the winning agenda, because at this point, unless you can get to 8 credits, you just lose after that. You lose after you start making runs. Measured response can bring back, or Basalt can bring back one measured, you can play it, then you can bring it back again for a second one, so you are always in danger of double measured. Ooh, oh, that's worrying. That's worrying because that's quite possibly a 9 strength Ferris. We know one Ferris is in the bin. And we know one Ferris is almost certainly on server 2. But we don't know where the third one is, and you don't have a ton of options. You can't easily just, like... Your propeller is in the bin, which is your easy way to get through Rockhead. Okay, twinning will help.
Propeller does not feel great in Docket. Like, Propeller breaks each of these ice once, maybe.
Yeah, but the thing is, it does break them. Like, that's the biggest thing right here, is this does break them. I presume, yeah, okay, so this is probably... Next turn will probably be when Cold Lava really pushes. However, every turn you don't push is a chance for the Corp to just put down another ice. And if one more ice gets put down, like that, every single ice can potentially be just deadly.
This is definitely the type of game state / board state where having access to a copy of Finality could be a really big deal.
Yep, finality would be really nice here. Like, you need a way to quickly close out the game, because you're only going to get one shot. Putting it into the... Okay, so, well... I mean, I don't think that's a 2-point agenda, because I highly doubt... Like, a deck like this usually isn't even running more than 6 agendas. But, we'll see. Alright, we're going for it.
There's not any fast advance.
Run on HQ. Really. I don't know if I would run on HQ here, is the thing. Because, like...
I mean, this is just for the Ramon trigger, I think.
Yeah, like, potentially looking for something to install with Paladin? Yeah, so now you have 2 twinning counters, so now you can go for it. Alright, and Devil Charm plus Propeller will get you through anything that's over advanced. Alright, here we go. Let's see if this is game. Because if you don't win on these 3 cards, you lose. You do have one chance to go check archives. I might check our... Oh, it's another... It is another Racket. Fascinating. I mean, that's still not that bad. You could just Propeller through that.
Yeah, actually, this can all just be propellered through.
It's a great for the bluff, though, because
then...
you are you're bluffing out a Ferris potentially. All right, 3 cards.
And twinning.
Nothing. All right,
3 lift.
Now you run archives. Hope it's there, and if not, that's game. Nope. GG. Wait, hold on. Hold on. It might not be game. There is 1 steel skin that has been removed from the game. If there are 2 steel skin in hand, and both of them get hit, that's not game.
I think
no, we're just going to get seamless instead. Never mind. That's the other way of doing it. GG. I love Basalt. I love it so much. It makes me happy. Hello and welcome back. It's time for round 5 of the Netrunner America's Districts tournament. Here once again with Theranetar, and got a rather entertaining match, I hope, which is Az versus Zwicky. 2 identities that, if you had asked me 6 months ago, I would have said were basically unplayable. Or not unplayable, but really mediocre, and better you should play other identities, but I'm here to be surprised.
I've just been seeing a lot of uptick recently as just sort of a good way to play Rig Crim that doesn't rely on having 30 red events in your deck.
Makes sense.
And
What's more like
especially
Crim
just the
than
introduction of
Hermes?
things like open market, etc., have helped
Oh,
generate the density of installables that are just regular Drippy Con and good.
seems like the game started a little bit early. I was wondering about that. I thought we hadn't started time yet, so we'll give it a second while we wait. But yeah, no, I've seen a couple of AS builds be very popular, and I'm curious about how that. I'm curious what the status of them is right now.
But I'm seeing much more like we're just going to install Nuka and open markets and like have a paladin or something.
Yeah, with Baz, funny that we have Baz and Az. With Baz and Mushlihat, you have to do so many specific things, but here you can just kind of, with Az at least, you can just have fun with it. Make a normal deck.
Yeah, and I'm not really seeing the. I'm going to install 3 Chesva and then install things off queue loop using my masterwork to draw a card.
Which does make me sad, because that's what I always like doing with Az. My favorite stuff. Yep. Right. We got a number of assets down. We got Class Act, Open Market, and Paladin. Paladin's a bit of an interesting choice here. I mean, I assume it makes sense, but also as usually playing a lot of connections, so difficult thing. Getting Open Market and using it to play a Class Act, though, just feels so good early game. You're basically playing a Class Act for free, since you're going to get the 2 credits from Open Market back from Open Market, and Class Act for free is great. Alright, seeing a card come down in server 1. Now, the Hermes here is pretty clutch, because it means that the runner, if the corpse tries to score something out quickly, which I think Zwicky usually wants to do, unless it's all in on measured response or something, like, the corp can't really just score something out super quickly and run over stuff, because you'll lose one of the ice on R&D and could potentially lose stuff to R&D. Wake and Plant is interesting with the Afshar, because you don't have a good way through the Afshar right now. Once you get a Code Gate Breaker down, you can start triggering that, but for now it's kind of useless. With Az, I just end up with 5 million hardware in it, rather than just using the idea for pay for resources. Yeah, that's what I always do. That's my approach to Az. Spin Doctor drawing a ton of cards. Drawing another card. Zwicky can draw a lot.
I've definitely seen some. For Zwicky, I've been seeing a lot of experiments with like bad pub builds that are sort of almost competing head to head with some of the Nuven builds. It's a question of whether 2 credits and the trash is better than a slightly smaller deck and the draw, and they seem to be pretty similar.
Yeah, curious where this is going to go. Mercia Ballard. Going to get more ice downs. There's definitely an ice-heavy deck. Assume we'll see Biowalk in Green Market.
I do find the Mercia a little interesting, because being that ice-heavy is going to cut into your density of agendas or operations that gain credits.
Makes sense. Let's see, just a daily casts. Daily casts, using Paladin money. Definitely would love to see a twinning, so you can just start actually getting more stuff. Although I wonder if this deck is even playing twinning. Although if it's not playing twinning, I'm not sure why you're running Paladin.
I expect the twinning with the Paladin down.
Extract, soon to be gone forever. Using it to trash Spin Doctor, interesting. Guess you don't need it.
Yeah, so I mean, crashing spin is one of the most credit positive ways of extracting, right? Because resing the spin did not cost anything, you got the value out of the res, and then got the value of the extract.
There's our code gate breaker. There's our barrier breaker. That will get you into that. That is threatening HQ now. You are now threatening HQ off of that a score in server 1. If server 1 is just like a seamless this turn to score out, you can now really threaten HQ and R&D. Still missing a sentry breaker though. Starting out with a petty cash, great card. Love to see it in Zwicky.
So I'm not sure how many scary sentry face checks I'm worried about.
There's one scary sentry face check, and it's what's it called? Stavka. That's the
Stavka.
only thing I'm scared of here.
Which is fine, but Stavka in Wiki can't do the Stavka and Nob thing where you trash and go find half run and then blank the killer.
Yep, but Stavka can still trash 2 things. Like, Stavka's still going to let you trash
Stavka can still be 7 strength and trash 2 things.
Yeah, and that
so
could
very
make
expensive.
you lose 2 of your breakers. But now that Carbon's down, it doesn't matter anymore.
Boomy is slightly awkward for Carmen to interact with.
An annoying one. Reason to run Tungsten Tailor.
I mean, I suspect we might see Tungsten Tailor here in this as list.
It's the sort of card you would definitely want to put in
and it is a hardware, so it comes down for 2.
Yep, hardware that comes down for 2 does something really, really good. It's a good card. Finds an off the books. Oh, wow. That's a fast score. Clearing the tag. Definitely want to with the number of resources this deck is running. Wait. What happened to the card? Was there not a card in server 1? Huh. Guess not. I thought there was a card in server 1.
It was bounced with Hermes.
Oh, it was bounced with Hermes. Oh, right. Okay. I missed the Hermes trigger. It was like, wait, did I just forget that there was a card in server 1? That hurts to see. All right, Sacrifice Zone
Trade the server for the Sacrifice Zone expansion.
Love Sacrifice Zone expansion. Gonna draw you a card every turn with Zwicky. Feels good. It's a cool card. It's awesome. The Touchstone threatening Baker as well with the... I mean, it is just good with events, but also threatening Baker, threatening a couple of different things. Also another way to charge twinning, which I'm surprised the deck hasn't played yet. Like, it's even... That's so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... 8 influence so far, so,
The corollary to what I was saying about Zwicky and the heavy ice investment making it hard to get Zwicky triggers consistently. Like, as getting the touchstone down is easy. Getting a touchstone trigger every turn, you need to play an event each turn for the touchstone credit. You need to install a job connection or hardware each turn for the credit discount it has. Like, it is just hard to actually get the value out of all of these things with 100% uptime.
Not sure what exactly it'll look like. All right, so running a Bravado on this server, 2 separate event horizons. Well, that's rough. You have the Carmen, so you can break them. And then a Sleipnir. So Sleipnir is going to be what?
A Nightmare at 7 to fully break.
I think you can fully keep the runner out here if you want to.
But it's 5 to fully break. We're not at threat 4 yet.
It costs so many resources. Okay, so now it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get in. And then it would be 1, 2, 3. So it costs all of your money to get in if you want to get in this turn.
I mean, frankly, I'm kind of happy with that. So 3 is not enough for measured. So going to 4 is fine.
Yep.
There's face downs to bounce. Like, I don't...
Looks like we're gonna go for it.
And
So
and burning the event horizons right now is
the one downside
really
is you
exciting.
can't break all the subroutines on the Sleipnir, so you're giving the Carp a lot of cards back. Like you're giving them multiple cards back in card draws.
Hmm.
Break all subroutines. So looks like we might just be forcing another event horizon trip. No, just going to let it happen. Huh. Kind of surprised we didn't see it, especially with the full break there.
Um, no, I think if you sack this event horizon, that server one, so porous for the rest of the game. Honestly,
True, but you do have the runner on 1 credit, so whatever in server 3 can be rezzed, and they can't get in. Oh, and there's the Baker. Yeah, that's what you don't want to see as the Corp. Now, if the runner can find a event, just one
find
event,
events. Have to find events to get the
yeah,
touchstone going.
which
It's just so much stress on these deck slots to
yeah.
support everything.
All right, let's see what we got. Another sacrifice zone, just doing it again.
Yeah, and now there's no credits to come in and steal this in an obvious fashion.
Right.
Okay, although open market is gonna potentially
3 credits. So the runner can probably get in this turn. Question of, do you want to try and score out and advance this? Because, like, the runner is almost certainly with an open market down on the field. There's almost certainly something that the runner can do to get into that server. It's not that expensive. Well, no, wait, hold on. Shibboleth is now 1, so yeah. That's something I didn't consider,
hmm,
actually. If you let the runner steal, Shibboleth is now 1 strength, so it's much harder to get in. Costs 5 credits just to break the Sleipnirs, only the Sleipnirs and the run subroutine.
yes.
So that's now
Let alone
7,
all of
that's
the
now
other stuff near
12 credits.
yeah, let alone all of the other stuff near subs that you might actually care about.
Yeah.
They're things too.
Choosing to go ahead and score it. Losing an ice, and now you're going to have to discard 2 cards. Oh, we're going ahead and use Mercia to put an ice on Archives. Curious what that ice will be. Drawing up. Starting with another transfer of wealth, so that's going to be... Boomy's very annoying here. It's 4 credits to break, and then 1 credit to break Zwicky Group, but you can potentially bankrupt the Corp enough. I assume the goal here is to, wait, I don't have any credits left. Oh, I guess you can use the touchstone. Wait, no, but you can't use the touchstone credit because then you don't have the credit to go through archives. Huh.
What?
I guess you don't need to go through archives. You could just go through R&D. Assume the Corp can't res that either. That's my assumption, is that right now the goal is just to keep the Corp poor enough that they won't be able
Yeah.
to res whatever's on R&D or such. Finding a slash and burn, that's not good. That puts you at 6
Okay.
points.
Yeah, this is still safe and measured. There's no measured threat here.
Yep. You would need a double measured, and they're really not threatening that right now.
Well, actually, clearing this tag goes down to 4. Yeah, double measured's just not being threatened.
Anthill's a little bit nice just to get some credits on the field, but this
Good.
is not a great place to
If
be
there's
as
a
the Corp.
petty cache double measured works. Is there a petty cache in archives? No. Okay.
No, because petty cash still only gets you 2 credits here. Newfound can do funny shenanigans with petty cash, but nope.
Yeah, but I mean, measured's only 5, right?
Yes, but you need to get to 10 credits. Petty cash
No,
takes
yeah,
you
yeah.
to...
Sorry, it would be petty cache from archives, gamble.
Oh, and gamble. Yeah, okay. Petty cash gamble measured does win it.
Yeah.
Is there a petty? There is. I don't know if there is a petty cache in archives. There's one face down.
There is not currently a petty cache in archives.
There's just one
that
face
is
down.
A face up. I don't know if the face down is a petty cache.
I presume that what we'll see... Okay, sure, gamble, yeah. So I presume what we'll see now is probably just like... use Baker to hit HQ and then hit R&D. Let whatever's in server 1 get scored. We're just going to try and win based on seeing 4 cards from R&D. Nope, just going to go straight for R&D. See, trashing a spin doctor, seeing 3 cards. Find nothing. Ooh, ouch. Only a daily cast. Definitely want to draw up here because you are in danger of at least 1 measured. Or just take a credit. Just make sure you have at least 8 credits.
Yeah.
Going up to 8 credits. Alright. There goes the anthill.
And definitely the paladin at 3 credits being drained all into a daily casts like solves your paladin problem for a while and is a free daily cast. This just seems good.
Yep. You are in a bit of danger here because there is just like 17 cards left and presumably there's 2 measured. If you hit those, then that's just game. But spin doctor presume... Oh, there it is. Yep.
There's the first measured.
First one.
Which does suggest that there will be second measure.
Second one. There it is. That's game. Nice try, Az, but just gotta be so careful against that. Great job, Remioki. Well done. It did a great job, and glad to see it. All right. It was a good game. We're pretty early in the round. Here we have Seb versus Earth Station! And not all of the ice is gone, which was my fear. Still rough. Nothing on R&D right now. Looks like we're running into here 3 points and a basalt scored on the one side and a sacrifice zone to let them dream. So no threaten of measured right now, but as soon as another point gets scored, you're in the realm of 2 measureds.
Well, speaking of measureds, there are, however, 2 measureds in archives.
Which is a pretty good place to be, actually, if you are if you have a basalt score, which we do.
To some extent.
It does mean you can easily play 2 of them. It makes it hard to play 3 of them, but you can easily play 2 of them. Rezzing a giant Pharos.
Big Pharos.
No
now, there is
way
a
to
Devil
deal with
Charm
that right
and
now.
a crew available.
Even the crew
which
and the
combined
Devil Charm
to
can't.
8.
Well, you can... Oh, no, right. You're taking a tag so you can install another crew.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I always forget how many tricks Seb can have. That's going to destroy...
Yes.
That's so much value lost. Finding it above the law. Now you're in measured zone, but you can't even measure because the Corp only has 3 credits. That was such a turnaround play, because I know that the Corp was just feeling like, okay, I look at what you have on the board right now, and you do not have the resources to get through my Pharaohs. Like, you can't do it. And then you watch the Seb do it anyways, and you feel so bad. Yep. Crew in hand, it dies. It sure did. Now you got to figure out how to build yourself back up. You do have the one advantage, which is that the Corp, which is that you do the one advantage, which is that the you do have that basalt scored, but like with the Gormon scored at this point, I feel like you're just going to have the Seb is just going to start running over you as much as you can, just kind of lock you out of the game, not even try and score. Just take as many, just start getting as many credits as possible, so you can always be at 16 credits or something.
Now, there is the option here, depending on the Corp's hand, but to even do something, it's certainly painful and it's HQ dependent. But even a line like credit, trash shelter, trash crew could be a form of investment in the future.
Yep. I mean, there are 2 crews in the bin, but also there's nothing defending archives, so presumably, I mean, you know that you're going to get hit by just like, okay, I'll get my stuff back with the Prirec, the card that gets stuff back. I don't remember. But
Privilege access.
privilege access. Prirec is something else.
Praxis.
Prirec is the old bad agenda. Yeah, Praxis is the one.
But there
Up,
is already one privilege access
something
in the heap.
Yep.
Now Eupraxia opting to draw here. Not quite sure what he's looking for.
Whoa. Potentially just looking for a way to make some money.
Money is
taking 2 credits. Oof. You can't spend those basalt spire counters because you need them for your potential way out of double measured, but I don't think the Seb's going to end a turn with less than 8 credits and 4 cards in hand from this point on. And I don't think it's that hard for the Seb to not end a turn with 8 credits and 4 cards in hand.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's definitely a goal that the Seb can just do from now on. Not end a turn when you run.
The last Devil Charm coming down.
Oh, but
the
instead
third
we're
Devil
just going
Charm
to go for
is
it.
in the heap.
Trashing Hedge Fund.
I'm just being cashed in for the counter.
Yep. Now, still don't have a way to make the money that you need to get to 10 credits. If you get to 10 credits, then you have at least a little bit of safety, because, or even just a few more credits. Having a sure gamble here would be so good. It's the one thing that you desperately need. I still don't know how you beat a Seb like this, but yeah. Oh, hold on. Measure response in Archives HQ. Hold on.
This could just be a value measured for 4 cards, although with the buffer drive already installed, that seems more perilous than usual.
Yeah, that's... Not sure what exactly the plan is here. How many steel skins have we seen? Yeah, just playing a value measured. Hitting 2 steel skins. I said how many steel skins because I was wondering, is this Seb sitting on 2 steel skins for the complete measured protection that the Corp doesn't even know about? Oh, that was beautiful. If that had gone off on a kill turn, that would have been so cool. Well done by Seb. Well done by Zelt protecting against that. Always one of my favorite moves.
And now price coming down. And what is the price of the price?
What did you lose here? Well, we did lose. The Ashen is just going to get your stuff back. Almanusis and 2 skill skins. Yeah, that's nothing.
Okay, this is a little bit awkward as a price goes.
Price puts down a Ashen.
It just burns through 4 cards, and there's all. And you just bottom the Ashen.
Yeah, Ashen price did basically nothing.
It milled 3 cards out.
Yeah, that's true, and instead that's pretty good. There's the privilege access. Assume we'll see... I don't actually know what we'll see with this, but...
I mean, it'll be a crew, and then... a Gourmand. Crew Gourmand. Oh, no, Shelter.
Installing a Lago over another Lago?
Yep.
I'm not sure what the point of that is. Getting back a friend of a friend for money. Yeah, just looking for more money.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure why you install a Lago over another Lago. Is there a line there that I'm missing? I can't figure it out. Oh well.
Interestingly, the Audrey was bottomed here on the buffer drive.
Trashing the friend of a friend and getting a lot of money. More stuff.
Yep,
And
transfer cost coming in.
transfer. Oof. That hurts. Not much you can do about that. Even if you can't res the ice, so you're going to go down to 1 credit.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
potentially whatever's in server 1 could be res to, like, it's the same, you can't lose credits you don't have, and then the runner gains fewer.
Yeah, but you're still going to be... That's just going to get trashed then, potentially.
Well, it can be trashed regardless. Now this server 1 is, like,
Yeah.
ice is unresable.
Yep, gonna run it anyways.
I think 100% res and health, just because it's fewer credits for the runner to steal.
Mm-hmm. It does mean you end your turn on 0 credits instead of 1. Or no,
There's
wait,
no
it would
bounce
have been
back
all of them. It would have
from.
been all, yes. Yeah, so it just would have meant you would end your turn on 0 credits, which is,
Mhm.
yes, but it denies the runner some money. At this point, I feel like if you're the Earth Station here, you have to be very tilted out. Just like, oh god, what options do I even have anymore? No nice and R&D, taking 2 credits.
Yep. And this fly swatter is just getting completely oppressed by this virus.
It's supposed to not do that. That's the entire thing the fly swatter's supposed to do. It's supposed to stop that.
Have you
There's
considered
Valentina.
magnets?
To make more money from getting rid of all of these tags. 23 credits. Yeah, you're never going to be able to measure it at this point.
Magnet is not a current threat.
This is the misery zone where you've kind of been locked out by a prison deck, but there's not much you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, the locked out by prison runner can feel way more miserable for the corpse than locked out by prison corp can feel for the runner, because, like, usually
Yeah.
as the runner you can click for credits for 5 turns, get a signal on R&D, and, like, maybe it's a 3-pointer.
Yeah. It can just feel so miserable. There's a Praxis left. There's an Ashen left.
There's an action left.
Yeah. There's an everything left because there's an Ashen left.
Well, probably this could be like the worst action of all time that removes 3 praxis and 2 crew.
Once again, it's 0 credits.
Rising Tide. So I definitely feel like I've seen a little bit of a trend of Sebs moving to have a supplemental regular breaker suite.
Mm-hmm.
We did see the Ashen hit 1 praxis, but the duplicate Solidarity Badge, the duplicate Audrey, and a single copy of Strike Fund and Friend of a Friend are not terribly impactful losses.
This is, I hate to say it, the point where I concede, because I've said, okay, this isn't worth it. This isn't worth me tilting out more. 6 credits. The Corp has a Devil Charm, multiple crews, a Manuel. The Corp has everything you could possibly want. And just Ashen the entire deck back.
Mm-hmm.
Finds and trashes a flagship. Like, your hope here, I think, is just that you can somehow catch the runner off guard and be like, oh, you forgot that I have the ability to play measured a bunch, but just don't think it's happening.
So with 15 credits and 3 cards in hand, like this is as good as the angle for that can ever look, really.
There's another agenda, but it doesn't win the game. The downside of Let Them Dream, it also can't get you out of a hellish situation when you desperately need to lose the game. The prison goes on.
I think there's the drops before, and that is definitely taking out any possible measured lines.
Yep. The right choice, because there's a chance that the runner, the corp might have drawn into measured and could just measured, get one back measured. But
yeah, with like petty cash as one of the 2 face downs. Yeah.
and there's another transfer.
That's a lovely money you have there. It'd be a shame if something happened to it.
Running
Check
archives.
archives.
Nothing there.
Archives is boring.
Running R&D, still tagged. Gonna get to see a bunch of cards in here.
Okay, there's some hires.
Levirus.
That's
Actually
cool.
interesting. Doesn't really save you, but it is interesting.
I mean, agenda in probably R&D, but like they can't. The agendas can't exist in server 1, so just hang out, and I'm confident that Celtianer will manage to eventually find agendas when they can't be put in server 1 because they just get taken.
Yeah. Like, I genuinely don't know how you potentially win here. Hedge fund? Play hedge fund? Government subsidy? Big deal? Do you have a big deal in your deck? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Probably not.
Yeah, I don't expect a big deal. And I'm not really seeing that level of money in archives to support it.
You're trying to rebuild, but you're rebuilding against a deck that has 3 crews on the table. Like, I don't know if you can.
Okay, but what's the alternative?
Concede. Like, I think you could definitely go for a line. I genuinely can't find the line out. Maybe there is one. If there is, I will be shocked. And I will say, oh my gosh, I completely missed this. You have 16 credits. That's enough to do some stuff.
Yeah, because like the other option is you just go install, and go. You can't check them all except there's wheels, and also the runner has 4 clicks and 0 fear of anything you can do. So actually, okay, Winchester's pretty good here. Lines up well into the Audrey. I mean, it might force the Devil Charm, but that's still actually an investment. Might also
Could
just
just be
eat
double
double
crude.
crew, which could be a little.
My guess is it'll just be double crude.
It's just gonna be broken with Audrey. It looks like.
Okay. Crew and Audrey.
Okay,
Need to take a tag so that you can have the tag for the Manuel.
sure. Sent.
That's just
Might
gonna
have
get
to be
crude
crude. There are
instantly.
no Audrey counters, yeah.
Yep. And 3 more cards. Nothing. Well, you've gotten rid of 1 crew.
Yep. So like I really do feel like, depending on what's in HQ, like this might be a time when you can just go trash crew, trash crew.
Well, the problem is you have to trash 2 cards from HQ for each one, because there's a Manuel and your identity ability.
Okay, you trash Manuel crew for 4 cards. Also, no, Manuel is only just to trash Manuel.
Right. I'll be
Manuel
right
does
back.
not
I have to
trash your
handle
crews.
something. I'll be right back. I have to handle something real quick.
Hmm? I mean, there's still 2 practices outstanding, so it's pretty rough, but yeah, Manuel only defends himself. Like, there's still 2 practices outstanding to bring back crews, so I'm not quite sure how much is possible to actually leverage that. But the agendas have very much bunkered down and are hiding. Where are they hiding? I think Zelthoner would like to know, honestly. Okay, Event Horizon business as usual, as the HQ accesses. And let's see, I'm checking our Gourmand count. Okay, there are still 3 Gourmands somewhere in stack, I believe. Winchester this time being Devil Charmed, freeing up R&D, and some other accesses. Flagship Crash, but still no agendas. Welcome back.
What have I missed?
The second Devil Charm was actually used on the Winchester to open up R&D, but there were still no agendas found. Flagship crashed, and R&D is now down to 9 cards, 8 cards. So there's some.
I don't know what you do here. Your HQ has been pretty conclusively locked down. Like, I don't think there's any cards in it that the.
I mean, you just lock R&D, like the top card of R&D every turn for the next 8 turns, and that'll end the game. Zelda
Time
Gunner
will end the game
wins
before that,
on
probably.
points at time.
Yeah.
Time's only 5 or fewer minutes away. I think I saw the 5-minute warning go by. Like 3 minutes ago. So yeah, there's only 2 minutes left till time. Just lock everything.
Yep.
Maybe mill some cards off R&D with Gourmands. There's a Gourmand. Go trash this R&D ice. Go trash the top card of R&D.
There's an Event Horizon. I mean, that's.
Yeah, but you just break it with Audrey.
Do we have all 3 measured in the trash at this point? Just 2, but.
Well, there are no Gourmand counters, if nothing else. There are 2 measures in archives. There are 0 basalt counters.
And there's the game. We're free.
And there's the dream.
GG. Alright, so what do we have? 2 players we've seen today. Torpedo Tyrus and Viljum. Fact. Yeah, Tyrus, we saw Tyrus's runner, and we saw Viljum's corp, but we haven't seen these players on the opposite sides, so that's fun.
So this is definitely some form of bad publicity, Nuvem, since we're seeing this trebuchet.
Early trebuchet. Interesting early
rushy, possibly
yeah.
with some
Reanimation
Red
of the
Cats.
early trebuchet is really interesting. Like that's very hard to deal with as a corp, just period. Um, you need even getting down Audrey, you're gonna need two different cards discarded.
Yep.
It does fall to another things like putting a Botulus on there would feel very good. Wouldn't be surprised if we
Mhm.
saw that. What did runner do? First runner turn was
Econ
Solidarity Badge, Gourmand,
and Paladin.
trashed trash the runner trashed a Trebuchet with Gourmand, and then it got reanimation protocoled. Beautiful. That's awesome.
Mhm.
All right. Let's see. Gachapon, Keiko, and Paladin. That's going to be a lot of money.
Yep, it's just Econ. Set up Econ. And certainly putting the Trebuchet on HQ means that there's not a server to rush things in right now, as much as locking down R&D and HQ and like denying the easy Gourmand touches, trashes, and the loot value there can be very nice. Um, there's some amount of, well, if you don't do anything with the time you bought, did buying time, like, was buying time worth the expense?
Yeah, at any time that you're buying against this sort of Anarch deck, you're buying it against Chisels, you're buying it against Chisel Charm, you're buying it against Cruise, you're buying it against stuff that's going to destroy your ice. Right, seeing a Gachapon hits Chisel, grabbing the Chisel and not the Audrey, which makes an amount of sense because you don't really have a way to start triggering the Audrey until you can get in. Removing an Audrey from the game. Now that implies to me that there's an Audrey in hand. Just fully removing
Mhm.
it from the game. That implies to me I want the Chisel more than the Audrey because the Chisel I can play and the Audrey I'll find time to play later. Well, good. This is a good setup for defending against. Good setup for defending against Lu though.
It's not denying a lot of the like loot value trashes because it's so hard to get in and touch things.
Yeah. Lu wants that value, and the deck wants that value with the Gourmands and everything. So just icing up centrals and keeping Lu out is potentially a solid strategy.
But again, that potentially buys time for a really big fermented cook. For cook fermenter up to six counters, five counters. Like that's a lot of money to
Shuffling
actually
back in
just get into
Descent,
these servers with.
Regulatory Capture, and Basalt Spire. Using a hedge fund, will we mill the card? Choosing not to mill the card. Interesting. Scary.
And again, Veltums is more than able to just set up as much as he wants. The corp is not presenting a threat.
There's the Audrey, like I said, from hand. Ooh, and the cookbook is going to make that so much better because now you can break something. Like the Audrey can currently be used to break the Trebuchet. Devil Trump, like you can now potentially get into HQ. Put down a Gourmand, run HQ, start the train going. Extract the ice with the chisel on it. That feels good. Put down a new
And put a
ice.
new ice without a chisel on it.
Yep. That's exactly what you want to do. Both players playing really well against each other, knowing what you might be up against and what you need to push against. Wow. Right, getting a ton of money with the fermenter. And I'm playing a simul chip. Never mind. Here comes the chisel back, potentially. Yep. Gonna re-grab the chisel if need be. Using another trebuchet! Wow. Okay, yeah. So going to re-grab chisel. Put it there. We'll see this get chisel charmed away, and the second one get broken with Audrey. Oh no, just going to jack out. Not going to go for it. Interesting. I guess doesn't want to lose the cards in hand right now to Audrey? No Gourmand on the table means you don't have a way to guarantee a trash, so you don't have a way to guarantee getting another credit from another counter on Audrey also, which is important. So long as you have the Gourmand, you can make sure that keeps happening no matter what. Whoa. New remote. Oh, I was hoping for a big deal. Possibly just a green mail, I guess? Or we could actually see big deal. Show me a big deal. Let's go! Big deal! Big deal for a Basalt Spire with 2 counters. That's what I like to see. Heck yeah. Oh, that was beautiful. Oh, I loved that. I love seeing big deal. And now you're threatening doing that again at any time with the Basalt counter because you could just get the big deal back. That's so cool. Oh no, wait, the big deal was removed from the game. Never mind. But maybe there's another one. You never know. Let me check something real quick. Yeah, too bad it's removed from the game, so you can't really do shenanigans with it. All right, let's see what happened while I wasn't looking. Putting a Botulus onto the Trebuchet makes sense. Reasonable. Immediately running again, finding a regulatory capture. Oh, that's rough. That's exactly the sort of card you really want to have in hand, because like one more bad pub makes the regulatory capture scoreable from hand. Regulatory capture is one of your main win conditions at this point, because it means you don't even have to worry about the runner attacking you in any way. Alright, Petty Cash. Always the card you want to see. If this is a reg capture, you can put it into archives, return it to hand, and then immediately play it and score it. I assume we're going to try and draw into probably another piece of ice, or potentially another agenda.
Interesting sort of the development of the classic Shaper U, where you ice R&D really heavily and don't ice HQ much, and you just put things in their mode as soon as you find them.
Yeah.
And once there is one more bad publicity for Torpedo Tyrus, and the rate caps are 2/2s and can be scored from hand, that's a very reasonable threat.
Yeah, no, it's a very good threat. I'm curious what other threats the deck has, though, because if you lose all the regulatory captures, you don't have any good way to fast advance stuff.
I know sometimes there's like a copy of Slash and Burn floating around the list.
Slash and Burn can do it. Potentially another big deal. If you really want to have fun. Oh, there's the Slash and Burn. Advance. Off the books. There we go. One regulatory capture wins the game. Oh, that's so cool. Look at this Nuvum.
Another potential off the books end the game. Like this Slash and Burn is recoverable with Basalt.
Yeah. There's a twinning that can potentially help you because you'll be able to clear the hand. If you had a way to make it happen this turn, you could run Archives, try and force the return to hand, and then run HQ. I might run Archives here anyways, just to prevent for the Corp from being able to do anything. Gain 2 clicks. Yeah, okay. Yep, there it is. So I assume we'll see run Archives, and then we'll get the Slash and Burn return to hand, and then we'll see a run on HQ to try and steal the Slash and Burn.
Run HQ to try and find the Slash and Burn.
Yeah, that's my guess. Although it could be that the game is in Archives right now. Like, there are 4 face-down cards, and... Oh. Was it? It was not the Slash and Burn, so... The runner now has 6 points.
And can now be measured a bunch.
Now be
But
measured twice, but the runner also has 16
yeah,
credits. So you would need to measure
yeah, it's not
a lot.
a concern.
And there's Basalt Spire. Oh,
Yeah, and there's the
I
Spire.
was cheering for the corpse, though. I was really cheering for the such bold plays, but with bold bluffs comes big losses. Well done to both players. That was a great game to watch. Very fun. All right, we are getting started, so let's go over the game. Cool. All right, so we have Tradon on Alco versus Cold Lava on Lu. Lu is really good against Alco. This is not the matchup you want to see. Immediately finding a moon pool and trashing it, getting some money back from that. Not the matchup you want to see as Alco, because you're probably doing asset spam. Oh wait, let me switch over. Shoot, I never switched over. Someone should have warned me. Yeah, there we go. Well, we're back. Okay, so yeah, Petty Cash early on has a lot of money, 12 credits, but no real way to protect assets is the problem. That Fermentor's going to keep ticking up and getting money, and Lu gets money whenever you trash something. You get just tempo whenever you're trashing something. You don't have a ton of space to just sit and wait. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah, and the heart is also very nice. Egg has a lot of kill threat in a lot of different configurations.
Yeah.
Between things like FUD, between the Fujis, potentially Bladderworts.
Potentially Reaper function.
Lu keeping your potentially Reaper function. Lu keeping your hand size up by trashing, in addition to just the 1 credit rebate, really does go quite a long way.
Curious to see how this plays out. So we got server 3, we have something installed to protect that. Now, this is a dangerous thing because on the one hand, you can protect something, potentially start getting cohort triggers, which are so necessary for Alco. A lot of potentiality. However, you have to actually save whatever's in there. Ooh, and there's a lot of ways to not be able to do it. For example, pinhole threading. It's not. It's an agenda. Oh, wow. That's bold, but that's a complete waste of a pinhole, which is a pretty huge deal in this matchup, in my opinion. Immediately finding the boomerang, so probably going to be able to steal it, which does hurt, but...
Well, there are lines like Samaximon is not great for boomerang.
14 credits. Also 14 credits, you can res almost anything. This could be something big and scary. We'll see what it is.
It could be a lizard. It could be a giant lizard.
It's a Bathonomy. Okay, so Bathy doesn't really do anything to Boomerang, but it is Unice. Going to immediately lose this Longevity Serum. Bathy interesting because Bathy makes me think some very silly things. Bathy makes me think Unleash, which the deck almost certainly isn't on, but I can dream.
I mean, Bathy makes me think not a Civic Grid, but I think we are unlikely to see that.
I don't think we're likely to see Unleash or Nana Civic, but I can dream. Alright, 3 cards out. Now, you can get into server 3, but you can't do it safely because you know that it is potentially 5 damage. Audrey down.
Yes,
oh, this is bad.
Audrey counter.
Because Audrey counter will get you through Bathy. But Spin Doctor can't be trashed if you remove it from the game. I presume we will see this get removed just to stop the trash, yeah. Now, presumably, we'll see a run on server 1, potentially, just to trash that? Nope.
Just not enough clicks to do that, and then still threaten server 3 and still have cards in hand, so...
In case it's a snare or something. Let's see what else we got. Alright.
Petty Cash coming in.
Another Petty Cash.
Probably
2 Unleash. Looks like Tradon's list from the last time we played Egg in an online tourney. Interesting. Okay, 2 Unleash is exciting. Love to see something fun from that. Cold Lava. Trashing Steel Skin with Audrey to just instantly start the turn by drawing cards.
Just get some draw.
And putting it back on the bottom of your deck with Buffer Drive.
Exactly. Paladin Fencer coming down. Fencer, well? additional asset hate here.
Yep. Fencer's great asset hate. Going to be useful, but you still don't have a way into servers. You have to trash at least one thing first.
Yeah, although hopefully server 1 will hang out and be there.
Yeah.
And
New
Taco
install.
probably has enough trashables that the odds of finding something in HQ or RD, I mean, they're not one, but like they're reasonable. You can find trashables in centrals.
It's an asset spam list. You'll probably find something. I mean, you're giving the Alco some strength when you do that, but you'll probably find something.
Mhm.
Running on server 6. Resing a moon pool? Okay. Putting 2 counters on it. Is this going to be 4 damage? That's 4 damage! Let's go! 4 damage. Urtica Cypher. Getting rid of 2 Botuluses that could have been gotten through stuff. Oh, that's beautiful. Killing a boomerang. Wait. Yeah, putting the boomerang back on the bottom of the stack and getting rid of that. However, you do finally get the counter onto Audrey. And you manage to trash... What got trashed there? Wait. Oh, it was the
That
Urtica. Right, yeah. The Urtica was what was in
that
those two.
was yeah, the Urtica got trashed. So
Trashing
that
the
was
Urtica
Boomerang,
is...
the Watchlist, and Devil Charm.
Trashing the Urtica is a bit scary because the Urtica is... You could potentially leave it on the field. Like, you're giving an Alco counter to the Alco player. And I'm always scared to do that.
I can't remember, was Turf Light System Gateway or System Update 21?
Which one?
Trick of Light.
Trick of the Light is system update. It is no longer in the format.
Okay. Review, getting that counter.
Yeah, this one is... This is 54 cards.
Tradon
Interesting.
has set up to crack the egg.
We have an Audrey counter. We can get into most places, but scary to do so on a list like this. Let's see. Solidarity Badge. That'll help with the card draw, which you do very much need here. Ooh!
Audrey counter? What Audrey counter? I didn't see the Audrey counters.
There go the Audrey counters. We haven't seen anything with what's in server 1, so at this point I'm assuming that what was in server 1 is the is a bite or a trap of some sort. Finding a Regenesis in Archives? That's...
And learning that there are definitely unleashes, and that's a good thing to know about, potentially.
Yep. We also haven't seen any influence from the Corp right now. Well, we've seen a Spin Doctor, but that's expected. I'm so curious what the Alco is trying to do. It's always so scary going up against Alco, because, like, what sort of kill line is this doing? Like, 5 different ones, and I don't know what it could potentially be.
So, egg is cracked.
I guess cracked, using it to install Spin Doctor and res a Spin Doctor. Wondering if the egg plus the Spin Doctor was implying that Troudon was really looking for something and could not find it there. That's what I'd assume, that there was some specific combination of cards that were being looked for and just unable to be found in time.
No, I saw the egg get cracked and got briefly distracted, thinking to myself, why have we never seen, like, why have I never seen egg with Yodel?
With the Yodel?
Your digital life.
Oh.
Just get those extra cards.
There's a Reaper
Reaper function going down.
That's a great thing to find because you're getting rid of something that could be part of the kill combo to you. I mean, Reaper function plus Bathy plus Unleash is potentially a kill. And it gets you that Audrey counter, it gets you that
yeah, it gets you the Audrey counter.
Blue trigger, it gets you the Solidarity Badge. It's exactly what you want to see.
And it's a second Reaper function.
Okay.
And measured? No, we're not at threat 4.
What is happening? Putting Botchless on the bottom of the deck.
Mindscaping doesn't do anything.
We have the money for a public trail.
Public trail end of the line?
Could just be trying to do damage for Alco?
I don't know, with buffer drive, like, sure, you can get auto counters, but you can't, like, snipe pieces because whatever's most important will just...
Using, using spin. Shuffle, Reaper function, and Reaper functions. Yeah, I guess it was just a value Reaper function, I think. Installing spin, resing spin. What is going on? That's all 3 spins on the table now. Out of Alco. We've gone through half of our deck.
And the runner was looking a little bit bruised and battered, but definitely alive.
Yeah. Not dead yet.
Well, there are 2 clicks to go here.
I don't think there's a line here that kills you, but...
I mean, public trail end of the line does, but if there was public trail end of the line, we would have seen it.
Drawing for the kill combo, but I don't know what the kill combo is there. Like, on 3 cards, is it end of the line public trail? That's the only one I can think of.
Yeah, so I mean, like, you can certainly get more value damage with public trail unleash, which certainly, like, could be 3 net, could be 2 core, could be...
Yeah, public trail unleash was not going to kill because public trail unleash is
right.
Yeah,
It's 3. It's just more value.
All right, so grabbing twinning. That's interesting because it's going to mean seeing a lot of cards from R&D. And you are already on 3 points, so you don't need to see that many to win the game. Putting the boomerang on server 3. See what we find in here. Getting another Audrey counter. There's also a distributed tracing in this list. Interesting. Okay. So it is public trail end of the line. Finding a FUT. Have to trash that.
Five cards definitely feeling much safer than 3.
Yep. Still only on 6 credits, so you still can't deal with a public trail, but
Still can't pay for the public
probably
trail.
don't have to.
Although, I mean, like, is public trail trash twinning ever, like, public trail trash twinning unleash ever a thing you think about?
You do anything like that. I just, when I see a weird Alco deck, I'm like, what are all possible options? Is there some way this could happen that I don't expect? Right. Throwing down something. If that's a... what you'd really want that to be, I think, here is a Samak. Samak really helps out here. 2 advanced encounters on it.
Okay.
That's potentially threatening... Server 1 is...
Server 1 is not known.
Server 1 is not known, but probably a thing. That's the propeller that you need to get through there. Ooh.
The guess is possibly a bite or an Artica Cipher because Server 1's been unknown since the first turn of the game.
See what happens. Propeller is a real lifesaver here because it means you can't run into a Samak and then suddenly be ruined. Cloud Eater! Okay, so... Wow, that's not breakable? No, that takes your entire hand. You have to take a tag. You have to take a tag here. Because You can't.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Okay.
have to end the
No,
turn.
there's a steel skin. It's fine.
Oh, there's a steel skin. Okay, we're good. Never mind. We're fine. Ah, the power of steel skin. You are still gonna take 3 damage here, though, because I assume you're not taking the tag, because tag would be potentially killer, much more
I
dangerous, I
mean,
think, than.
yeah. Well, like the possibly the tag just turns back into 3 or 4 damage, right?
Yeah.
With unleash or end of the line.
I assume that also. Well, the other thing you have right here, the big advantage you have is Gourmand plus 2 counters on twinning, so you can sweep most of the hand, see almost all the cards, and like, what's going to happen to you there? If you see something that can kill you, you can potentially get rid of it.
Well, most of the things that could kill you, like you can't get rid of. Well, you have the Gourmand.
Yeah, you have the Gourmand, which lets
Okay,
you.
so you
Yeah,
if you take 3 net damage, you die to Fuji.
I don't think you take you. I don't think you can take the 3 net damage unless you have another thing. I think you have to take the tags, and then you could take the
Take
3
the
net damage
tags,
and then just
trash the
jack out.
punishment with Gourmand.
Hmm?
So take the tags, trash the punishment with Gourmand.
Yeah, but the problem is that Fuji as a punishment kills you, so I think you have to.
Fuji doesn't kill you if you take the tags.
Oh, letting them trash a card. Yeah, I didn't even consider that as an option, but yeah. Bite? Uh-oh. On-site review Moonpool. Oh, wow. Okay. That's certainly
Okay.
a change in pace here. So
Yeah.
ending the turn on 3 things, there's a few ways to potentially kill. We did not see a end of the line in hand, though. You're safe on
Yeah.
that. And also on 2 credits, so there's not a ton of ways to have to
Yep.
worry about that. But
There's
losing
whatever's
that
going on in server
Audrey,
9.
we don't know what's in server 9. We still don't know what's over there.
Correct.
Losing the Audrey and also losing the cards from the bite. What did we lose from the bite? Ashen Epilogue, Gourmand, and Simulchip. Ooh. Losing Gourmand and Simulchip here really hurts, I think.
I mean, losing the Ashen is potentially relevant. Like, this could be a pretty grinder matchup.
Yeah.
Although, the. Like, Ashen could be rebought with the buffer drive, potentially, down the line.
Alright, putting something new into server 3, leaving what's in server 9 double advanced, implying a. In server 3 is just going to get checked. Doesn't feel good. Implying that server 9 is just another.
Maybe another Urtica.
The cohort. Ooh. Easy trash. Which feels good. But
Easy trash feels good. Yeah, absolutely.
sucks to see
Also,
the
just an
corp.
easy draw.
Taking some money?
Yeah, but again, we are seeing the economy of the runner on a complete knife's edge.
Mm-hmm. You have a ton of potential good options. You have the you have the both you have 2 different companions, you have the solidarity badge, you have a lot of ways to see more, but get more cards and more money potentially, but it's all so you have to be so careful because you don't know what sorts of things this deck could throw at you at any moment. Okay. Credit, Hansai. Alright. Corp is now on 10 credits. Not
Which
threatening
is enough for
anything.
another big snake.
On 10 credits. Gachapon and Fermenter. Fermenter's really good here because it means in the case of like Public Trail, you have a good defense. Alco
Also,
gets
investment in the
used.
future, and I think there's a bit of time right now. It's used.
Any cash?
It's
Oh,
gonna be a see how they
score.
run.
See how they run.
Okay.
That's game right there.
Um.
Yeah, that's game.
Yeah, that's game.
Because see how they run is a tag, and then I assume end the line was just drawn.
And I assume end of the line.
Wow. Yeah, no, I said at the beginning of the game, there's
So
also
there could
the
be
see how they
actually
run end
is
the
there
line.
a steel skin left?
If it had hit and
No.
it's steel skin, but it did not. Because now, presumably, we see the... Yep, there
Yeah.
it is, end of line.
Yep.
Oh, that was awesome. That was so cool to see. What a cool game. Oh, so tense on both sides. Because... What? Oh my gosh. You can't see anything on the screen anymore to show all this as servers.
Wait, sorry. It
Wow.
now has server 18.
It's now 18
This is Epiphany
servers.
versus.
I'm sorry for everyone who wanted to actually be able to understand what's going on screen. I had to keep it zoomed out like this just for the sheer effect of it, just so we could see what's going on. I'll zoom back in a second. I just enjoy showing this off. Let's see, what are the points right now? So 4 points on the runner side, 2 points on the corpse side, 1 off-world. I do wonder how well Epiphany will be able to fare without off-world. Zoom back in a bit. Not too far, so we can still see all these servers. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 servers with things in them that are not revealed. Aside from that, we have on the table a cohort, a V1000, a spin doctor. None of which are being contested. We are at 4 points, so you are threatening like an Oppo or something like that. Let's see what's in the archives right now. There is an Oppo, or no, that's a balance coverage. Wage workers is in the building.
Warm reception was just rezzed.
That's right. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh boy. Alright, warm reception. What are we going to do with that? Could
Probably
D-res a
install
ping?
something and then score.
I assume it's going to get used to D-res a. Cohort is turning bigger picture upright, so that's putting a counter on the card in server 14. So I presume we'll see that scored out this turn. Will warm reception be used to D-res anything?
It's possible to just score 5 points from this position, I'm pretty sure, depending on what all of these cards are.
Yeah, I'm not sure you score 5 points this turn. I'm not sure you even want to score 5 points this turn.
I'd score 5 points this turn because that wins.
Oh, well, yeah, no, you want to score 5 points this turn, never mind. But I'm not sure how easy it is, how much work it would take. Like I'm not sure you want to spend so much time trying to figure out a line to score 5 points when just scoring points and keeping the runner on the back foot is also possible. We did de-res the ping, so now you cannot get into server 14 without dealing with the B1001, which you can potentially just do.
Yes. You run the B1001, trash it, get a credit back, get a draw, get an Audrey counter, like...
Let's see. Business as usual. Advancing something. Presumably that's advancing a... Huh. Oh, that's interesting. Putting an advancing counter there and an advancing counter on the other side. So presumably that is a grid that is going to Vladisberg.
Grid.
Yeah, so we can at least score 4 points here. Show me the money. There's the 2.
There's Vlad grid. I'm just gonna move over.
Powers that be. Anything else you want to res before doing this? Crypto crash.
Okay.
Runner loses all the credits.
Runner has no money.
And installing a new magistrate. Back online. Runner has no money, has to spend 3 credits to get anything. Has 2 credits. Oh, that hurts. Can't get into the Vlad server without trashing the B1001 first. Don't know if there's another B1001 on the board in one of these other servers. Gonna start just looking at random things. Let's see. Server 19. Finding a random crypto crash that got thrown on the board. Why wouldn't you res the magistrate? Not sure. Maybe there's some math here I didn't realize. There's the magistrate. Either that was a very whoops mistake, or Morocco has some very specific plan to win the game this turn, or score out a bunch of points this turn with the Vladispers. It needs a certain number of credits to do it.
Yeah, which is possible.
Alright, here we go. Let's zoom out so we can see everything this turn. All the servers.
Okay, there's the warm reception res.
There's another warm reception. There's another federal fundraising. So you can now draw half of your deck and install all of it in one turn. Federal fundraising, rearrange the top 3 cards. This could take a while, folks, as we watch everything go through. Putting an advanced counter on Vladisberg with cohort. Federal fundraising draw. Ah! Big yawn. I'll read off what happens to you in the chat so that you can see it, even if you can't. The screen is too small for you to actually read it.
There's currently a freedom of information in archives, which does represent an existential crisis to the corp if they don't win on this turn.
Yep.
Or manage to get it to someplace that is not archives.
There are a bunch of servers that have not been rezzed, and there is one spin doctor remaining. It's not an archive, so presumably you could get it out with that. Federal fundraising, rearrange the top 3 cards of R&D. And you do have the powers that be, so if you can score out, like, scoring out a 1 point... Oh.
And now you advance flat grid, move the counters, and score?
You don't have any clicks remaining.
Yep. You score post-truth dividend.
My assumption is that this was a post-truth and that we would see the... Oh, server 16 is a spin. It got de-rest. Yeah. Oh, forgot that it didn't have 2 on the Vladisbersk. Oh, no, that might be it.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's probably going to be game right there. Oh.
One of those advancements being on the grid, I don't think. If this is what's it the 3-2 the new project.
Oh, okay. Putting it on the Vladisbersk
Yeah,
instead.
yeah.
Well, that's good.
No,
okay.
no. Tomorrow's headline.
Tomorrow's headline. Sure. There we go.
And then still no res on the magistrate, which is interesting.
Yeah, that shouldn't be an issue to take that back because you're just
there's no
card.
new information.
No information revealed, nothing like that.
Yep.
Scoring tomorrow's headline. So you're gonna put a. Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't see a res on the magistrate, but who knows? Give the runner a tag. Install a regolith in a new server.
Okay.
In the turn. Yeah.
But how is this not just
There's
run archives? Yeah. Okay. Fine. The spin is annoying, but like you still force the spin. You still get rid of the tag for free. Okay. Sure, they can spin first before the B1001 and save the tag for that. But
like,
not just go find R&D, I guess.
All you have to do is just find an agenda in R&D. Maybe server 21 is an agenda.
Maybe. So I think we saw this list earlier, and it did have a copy of not just Vlad Grid, but of Vlad Shipment. We
True.
have shipment from Vladislavsk in this list, if I recall correctly.
But you need a way to add one more. You need a way to give the runner one more. Wait, does that one require 2 tags? Oh, well, doesn't matter
Yes,
anymore.
it requires 2 tags.
Playing a buzzsaw and then removing the tag. All right, is the game over here? 21st is regolith, right? Yeah. No face down for cohort, but maybe we'll see another cohort. Who knows what's on the board? A warm reception.
The warm reception.
Oh, we're getting that back, right? Yeah, the warm reception was already there. All right, what gets derezzed? I don't know if anything gets derezzed. Maybe the spin doctor. Installing a new card in server 22. Warm
Okay.
reception means that that can't be an agenda, or at least it can't be an agenda you're going to score this turn.
Yes, that was the warm reception install. So yes.
Derezzing the ping. Yep. Cannot fast advance without putting some sort of thing. Okay, put down the cohort so you've got the potential fast advance. You don't really have a good way to do it.
Yeah, the top 3 cards of R&D are being rearranged, so like R&D singles are not terribly likely to work.
You could overinstall something with warm reception to get a face down for cohort. That is true. Yeah, you could do that. That is a fascinating line. Looks like we did not see it, but that is really cool. I would love to see that. I'd also love to see. I mean, there's also just the possibility that if the deck is running post truth, you could just win off that.
Mm-hmm. Well, the federal fundraising does make it very hard to win with R&D singles because presumably something that is not trashable and not an agenda will hang out at the top of R&D.
Hopefully, lots of time. Might be desperately looking for those post truths if they're in here. Mandatory start of turn draw. We're taking a lot of time, so I presume the game is not over.
Mm-hmm.
Business as usual can fast advance a 2/3 flat grid. Yep. Putting something on R&D, finally protecting it a little bit. Guessing that's going to be like a ping or something, just so you can use B1001.
So I thought we saw all 3 pings in server 1, 3, and 14?
Yeah, we might have. I mean, there's a full breaker suite out now, so there's not much you can do in anywhere. Taking credits. Okay. You're playing with fire here. With the Corp having Buzzsaw, you now, Virtual Service Agent won't stop with a B101.
Correct, yes. There's the shipment from Vladislavsk.
Finding the shipment, kind of a useless card to see, but you got into the server, so that's nice.
Yep. Okay, just running back, Starlit Knight.
Yep. Looks like we're just checking HQ a bunch. I mean, you have the money drip feeding in, like, not a ton to worry about. Checking archives.
Checking archives.
Preventing the cohort.
Well, there's still the
very cool line.
The warm reception line.
Yep. Running on server 22. It's another cohort. Not gonna trash it, which does open the way for 2 cohorts. So now you can fast advance with the Vladispersk.
Yes. You can
Cohort. I'm surprised we didn't see a trash.
although you can't get 2 advancements off the cohort because you can only get 1 face down even using the
Right, but
warm
the Vlad
reception
is already
install.
on the field, so you can fast advance out of 3-2. Although I don't know if this deck is running any 3-2s.
I've seen some that have the embedded reporting or whatever the
Yep.
3-2 with dividends is.
Magistrate is still on the table. It has not been rezzed yet, I believe. There's so many cards on the table.
I think it's for 18. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. It's
Right.
certainly a lot. Okay, there we've got some advancements going, and I think
That's
this is going to
4
be a score.
counters. Is that it? That's
game!
Well done to Morocco finding a line there. Very funny game. Fun to watch.